6633.
A court in Thailand has convicted and sentenced a recently elected lawmaker to 6 years in prison for defaming the monarchy.
The court ruled that 2 social media posts by Rukchanok Sirinok violated the lèse-majesté law and sentenced her on both counts. She had pleaded not guilty, denying that she had published the posts. She was given bail, so will stay out of prison for now and continue to sit in Parliament. Ms Rukchanok is one of a slew of young activists who joined the reformist Move Forward party and helped propel it to an unexpected election victory. However, the party's call to amend the lèse-majesté law alarmed Thai conservatives.
The BBC's Jonathan Head. The Hungarian Prime Minister says his government will block a proposal to start talks on European Union membership for Ukraine at a summit of the bloc's leaders this week. Viktor Orban says the time is not right for Ukraine to join the EU. News and analysis, townhall.com. Alabama's prison labor program being challenged by some current and former inmates as a kind of modern-day slavery.
The lawsuit accuses the state of violating the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution, anti-human trafficking laws, and the Alabama Constitution. The plaintiffs also included 2 labor unions who argue that the supply of inmate labor puts downward pressure on wages for all workers. The 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution ended slavery, but it still allows forced labor as a punishment for crime. States set a variety of wages for inmate laborers, but most are low. A report from the American Civil Liberties Union Research found that the average hourly wage for jobs inside prisons is about 52 cents per hour. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Interest rates expected to remain unchanged. The Federal Reserve will announce its latest decision on rates later today. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you,
buddy.
A rainy Wednesday.
Oh man,
misty, and
it was spitting something fierce this morning.
Yeah, kind of nice. Nice work, and good thing, because I got it worked out. It never happens this way, but it did this time.
Okay,
it makes me happy. So over the weekend, I got my vehicle maintenance did oil change and all that good stuff, rotate the tires, and got some new wiper blades.
Nice.
On my vehicle. But every time I get them, it's always like months later before I get to try them out. Because, we're in New Mexico.
Right.
Got them Saturday. Here I am, Wednesday morning, mere 4 days later, trying them out, work like a champ.
That's perfect timing. That's what that is. Did you get them fancy ones with the Rain-X that coats the windshield?
No, I got the whatever the oil change guy put on there.
Also effective.
Like I said, I was like, I need new blades. Swap them out while you're at it. So I have no idea whatever Jiffy Lube has for wiper blades. Yep, that was me hanging out at the Jiffy Lube Saturday morning if you were hanging out with me. But yeah, I was just happy it worked this morning. I was like, look at this. It's all, didn't make the weird noise and leave goofy streaks all over the place. Nice. It just wiped the water away.
It's funny. The only time I ever think about the restaurant Red Lobster is when I'm at Jiffy Lube. Like,
Really?
that's the only time it ever comes up in my head.
Really?
Like, I haven't been to Red Lobster in a while. Mostly because I'm just sitting out there on that table just waiting for my my service to be
Staring at
done.
Red Lobster.
Yep.
Shrimp. Yeah. No, I'm a seafood guy. I think about, because that's all I got here. Think about time to time. So that's when we want to go fancy.
I did go Maryland proud this weekend. I was at Sam's Club just doing a little ancillary shopping, and I happened upon a container of
Old Bay?
6 frozen crab cakes with like the like authentic lump crab and all that. They're real good.
Were they?
Oh yeah, very good. I only had I still have 2 actually in the freezer.
Okay, because my experience is I don't mess with any kind of crab cakes outside of Maryland.
Really?
They're usually fake.
Well, there was chunks of real crab in these.
I'd have to see the breading
these
to meat
cakes.
ratio to deem it dominus ominous at the Maryland crab cake.
Well, I'll tell you what I did is I took them out about 5 minutes before they were done, and I coated them in. So if you go to, I have it pretty much every store. Kerrygold has it's usually only in one stick, but it's a garlic and herb butter that they make, and it is amazing on everything. So I took them out about 5 minutes beforehand. I basted them in that, put them back in, and then had a little side cup of that same butter afterwards for dipping
crab
and
and
basting.
butter, good.
And boy howdy, it was
Nice. Well, good.
Now,
I'm glad
granted,
you
I'm
enjoyed
not from the area, so I can't judge authenticity.
it. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
But
though.
as an Okie from Shawnee, I can tell you, that's some good crab meat.
I just know a lot of people like to put a lot of filler in there, and then they call it a crab cake, and I'm like, that's not what that is.
We have a cake that's just mostly bread and grains,
Well-
and then we just scream crab.
Well, there's a thing called a deviled crab.
A deviled crab?
Yes.
Okay.
And most of you are eating a version of that they're calling a crab cake.
Okay.
A deviled crab is got crab meat and the breading and all that stuff. And they basically mix it up, cook it, fry it, whatever, and they serve it in the shell of the crab.
Oh.
And so you scoop it out. So like the part of the crab you look at that looks like a crab,
Right.
that part all comes off, and then they fill the innards with that stuff.
Oh, nice.
And so when they present that to you, like, that's called a deviled crab. But a lot of people take that innards and put it together and call it a crab cake. That's not a crab cake. That's the innards of a deviled crab. And that's why I always, most of the time I see it, I'm like, that's not really a crab cake. It's a deviled crab without the shell.
I see. It's also not authentic crab if you don't have more than one of them, because I don't know if you know this, but they travel in pairs.
They do. Hot Shots learned me this. They do travel in pairs, indeed. So, but there you go. There's your crab cake wisdom for
Welcome
your
to
Wednesday
Crab
morning.
Cake Wednesdays.
These are things I take serious. It was funny this morning. My wife, she's probably listening, so she'll hear this one. She procured a bag of the honey barbecue Utz chips over the weekend, and I finished them last night.
Did you?
And I left the bag sitting out, so I grabbed it and went to throw it away this morning. And she goes, "Is that the bag I just bought over the weekend?" I said, "Yes." "You didn't save me any?" I said, "They're Utz chips. There's no saving."
You knew what you were bringing into the
I
house.
said, "They were here like 4 days. You had a chance." She was legit butthurt that I think I ate the chip. I was like, "This just means we got to go get more." And she goes, "I need to get multiple bags?" I said, "Yes, yes."
You
they're
knew
Utz."
this. You knew this when you married me.
And then
I
I
gotta
need my own bag. I said, "You can try."
I gotta say, I was able to resist the temptation of the Utz display last night when I was at the Walmart.
Oh,
but
I got to go just for that today, I think.
But I did find something that when I have a little extra cash, I'm going to procure.
Yeah.
Van Llewellyn, I don't know how to say it. The ice cream brand, they're at it again. They just released Kraft mac and cheese flavored ice cream
Oh, good
and
Lord.
dill pickle flavored ice cream.
Well, I bet people are going to like the pickle, because there's a whole sect of people that like the frozen pickle juice. And
Well, and that's fine, but it's like if you put pickle with sweet, that's a hard sell. Like, have you ever had a Koolickle?
I don't think I have.
That's a pickle that's soaked in Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I don't generally do cold pickle, like frozen pickle things.
It's not bad. It's just the sweet kind of. It's basically, it tastes like a watered down bread and butter pickle. So I'm a little worried about putting sweet with pickle if it's going to like actually, work out in the wash.
But then again, you ate ranch.
Oh, I'm
dressing
not
ice
saying
cream.
I'm not going to try it.
And you didn't hate it, if I remember.
It wasn't the worst. Okay, no, you have to understand something. I've had the worst ranch flavored thing in the world, and that is the buttermilk ranch flavored soda.
Yeah, it smells like foot.
It was terrible. There's still one over there if you want to try
Yeah, it smells like foot.
It's not great. So using that as a meter for what was going to be good or bad, it wasn't bad. That being said, it's not like I'm going to be ordering scoops of it down at the BR.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a fun novelty, but we're getting a little over the rails here on this now. We're just going to every year just make random savory foods that people like and turn them into ice cream.
I admire a company that their whole business model is we're going to release challenge foods.
Crab flavored ice cream.
Utz.
I feel like somewhere in Asia has a crab flavored ice cream.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of weird
They
stuff
like
over
to
there.
do weird stuff like that in Japan. So I'm figuring there's one out there. Seafood, definitely. So. But, yeah, I love mac and cheese. I will not, in a cold ice cream form, I don't see it.
No.
That just sounds revolting.
It doesn't sound exactly like the flavor explosion I'm hoping for, but
Like, that even sounds worse than the ranch.
yeah.
Like, there's not hunks of, like, macaroni
I don't know.
in it, is it? Oh.
I don't know.
See, that would really gross me out. If there's, like, hunks of macaroni in it, like...
I feel like they need to have that in there.
Like like those various loaves at the deli.
Is that a chunk of pineapple in there?
Which, by the way, a mac and cheese loaf is a thing. I remember back in the 90s, slicing up mac and cheese loaf is a delicatessen.
Like a meat? Like a lunch meat?
Yes.
Wow.
It was
Why
like-
though?
I guess it was 90s. They were doing weird stuff too then,
It's true.
Wasabi Kit Kat. There you go. I mean, just something like that, I guess.
It was the 90s / now.
Well, all I know is we sold quite a bit of it.
I'd be intrigued. By the way, I was reminded of something just now. It is that time of year again. Fruitcake is great. It needs to be said.
You and
There's not
Gene.
enough lovers of fruitcake out there. I'm a man who enjoys a good fruitcake.
You know what? In our radio personalities, in our stable of stations, I'm in the minority here.
Yeah?
Because Gene
Just
loves
me and Gene,
fruitcake,
yeah.
and you love fruitcake.
Right.
I am revolted by
Now, as far as on-air personalities
that's what I'm
go,
talking about,
sure.
on-air
It's like, I don't know how
people.
Thomas feels about
Yeah,
that.
I'm talking about on air, the faces of the franchise, so to speak.
Franchise players. Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoy it. Now, there is a point of diminishing returns on fruitcake. It can be so dry because of the moisture being absorbed from all the fruits and whatnot. It can, come back to bite you. But the right ratio of fruit to cake, it's awesome.
Do you ever make a fruitcake?
Oh, heck no.
Okay, some people are
I
into
don't
that.
have that kind of patience.
Some people like there's my radio world, a radio show I like to listen to. Back Donna Mike, matter of fact, Donna Mike show. Well, an offshoot of that back in the day was the Mike O'Mara show.
Okay.
And he had a producer that was actually a producer for Don and Mike back in the day. His name's Rob Spiewak. That's I don't know his real name. That's his radio name. But he every year makes fruitcakes, and listeners request fruitcakes, and he makes and sends fruitcakes to listeners. And he makes about 100 fruitcakes or 200 fruitcakes each year, and then distributes to.
Of course,
people
getting yourself a good Spiewak fruitcake. I mean, that's got to be saying something. You don't need a Spiewak fruitcake. You display that. And the cool thing about displaying a Spiewak fruitcake, it's just as good 15 years after the fact.
That's right. The Spiewak fruitcake tradition keeps going.
This is the way.
This is the way. Yeah, I myself am not a fruitcake.
No?
Well, I don't like fruit. So why am I going to like a cake of fruit?
But okay, now let's be honest.
Yeah.
How much actual fruit is in a fruitcake?
I have no idea. I don't eat them.
I've eaten fruitcakes before where I'm like, is that a Skittle?
I have no idea. I don't eat fruitcakes.
Yeah, I like a good a good chew, like a good fruit.
I feel like
fruit
the ones
chew.
I saw had like grapes and things all on it. Or
It's
something.
always dried fruit, of course,
Yeah.
but like half the time those dried fruits are also very candied.
Yeah, you can polish a turd to me.
See that right there? It's a polished turd. And that, it's a Spiewak fruitcake. I keep them on display next to each other for comparison purposes.
Just saying.
And that, It's an empty bag of Utz chips. That's a warning to those around me.
Like, and they're so empty. Like, even the little chippy crumbs. They all disappear.
Yeah.
There is no remnants left in a Utz bag when I'm done with it.
No crumbs.
And since I've had it on a regular, like 30, 40 years here, well, not 40. We'll give it 30.
Like 67.
I'm not that old. I'm getting a little overboard right now. I'm like, can I have these all the time? And that's the thing. It's on an end cap. I don't know when they're going to disappear.
I have a feeling.
So a little bit of me is like getting while the getting's gotten.
True. But like I said, I have a feeling that Walmart has a tendency to test waters. And I feel like they did that with the cheese balls and those worked out. And so now they moved the chips into maybe like a test phase, so to speak. And I feel like we're doing the Lord's work.
Well, then I'm going to ask the public. Go out and purchase the Utz chips.
They're $1 cheaper, by the way, than Lay's.
Do me a solid. If you only see one bag of the honey barbecue left, leave it alone. Leave it there for me. Grab any of the other flavors, but leave it there for me. If there's multiple bags, help. But if it's the last bag, leave it there for Mikey's Christmas.
There's no barbecue right now. They have a pretty good selection of the honey barbecue, the hot honey, and the sour cream and onion, which is probably where I'm going to go next.
Oh, they're excellent. Well, I think I'm not even lying. I might go after lunch today.
I might record the second hour of this show and just go get me a bag.
I'm out. I'm replaying the interview in the 9 o'clock hour. I'll see y'all later. I think it's our guest. Yes, very good. Let me give you the rundown while Roy is procuring our guest for this morning here. This hour, here in just a few minutes, we're going to have the folks from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women join us, give us an update on their next meeting, which should be 1 week from today, next week here. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, going to join us. Monday evening, they had their December school board meeting, so we have the highlights from that and other things happening around the district. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay an interview. Had nothing to do with the Utz chips. That really was scheduled like that.
Sure, Mike.
Yesterday, we had Helen Wakefield and Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell join us, talking about the hotspot event, the C-3PO, not the robot.
Oh, my.
Although it does make it easy to remember that event. I never forget the event. It's the one about the Star Wars robot.
That's right.
No, C-3PO.
Team C-3PO.
But it's about a hotspot, and they got an event coming up here that we want to invite everyone to. Basically, it's really an opportunity for people to get access to high-speed internet for free with these hotspots and all that. And it's available to, you don't have to be a student, it's anyone in need, basically.
Right.
But we talk about the event and talk about the grant that's associated with this. So we're going to play that for you here, and then hopefully get you get on your radar that event they've got coming up, I believe, next week.
Yes, sir.
For that there. And she said something about beef Wellington during that interview that they're going to have at that thing.
Wow.
Because they were doing hot dogs and hot spots. That's kind of been their thing leading up to this. But for this event, they're going a little fancier in hot dogs.
Okay, but hold on.
And I asked her, and she said beef Wellington.
Now hold on. I'm gonna present an argument here.
Yeah.
I think an argument that we might have even had on the air before.
Okay.
You said they're presenting it's hot dogs and hot spots.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog a Wellington?
No.
Think about it. You got a meat center with a flavorful topping, usually
using
ketchup,
that logic,
mustard,
any
relish.
sandwich would be a beef Wellington with beef in it.
Well, it's more any encompassed roll of meat wrapped in breading.
And I'm going to be a little less optimistic and say those hot dogs weren't all beef.
Fair enough. I didn't say a beef Wellington. I said, is it a Wellington?
Oh, well, I don't know. Is there such thing as a Wellington?
More specifically, is a corn dog a Wellington? Because I think that's even closer to what
But is there
Wellington...
such thing as a Wellington? Like we have beef Wellingtons, but is there a Wellington family of
It's
foods?
the Wellington style of food.
Is it?
The Wellington cinematic universe.
Is that a thing, or is that just people?
I don't know. I don't know. But when you said hot dogs and hot spots and beef Wellington, I'm like, they're going to cheap out and give you a hot dog and say it's a mini Wellington.
No, I I don't know. You heard what I heard.
This is a processed meat Wellington.
By the way, thank you to the Cavan family. They dropped off some Christmas treats.
Came by yesterday. That's pretty awesome.
And Roy's already dipped in.
Dang, Roy.
Well, in all
it wasn't even addressed to us.
I offered it to him.
Okay,
I said, here, Roy, have one.
All right.
Well, I can't take it home because it's got nuts in it. So my wife, and that means if I take them home, I have to eat every one of them.
So Is your wife so nut averse that you can't even have a nut in your home?
Oh, I can, but I will be the only one that eats those. So if I take them home, that's not good. If I have them here, then there's a bevy of people that will eat them besides me.
Sure.
I don't want to eat the entire container of them. And if I take them home, that's what will happen.
I see. I understand.
No. When I want my sweet tooth that I don't want her touching, M&M peanut. I just put a bag in there and I'm good to go. Till her mom visits, then she eats all my M&M peanuts.
Dang it. So I got to hide the good stuff before family gets to
That's
town.
right. Then I go switch to home. No, just kidding. All right. It is 7:23. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got rain coming up today with a fairly strong low-pressure system headed through the area. About 50 on the afternoon high, and rain will be likely through the day. Rain tapers off to showers overnight with our low dropping into the mid-40s, and then we get another round of showers and a few thunderstorms coming up on Thursday. High will be in the low 50s. We're back to sunny weather on Friday with low 50s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you. I almost said Roy. Thank you, Steve. I was talking to Roy when Steve was talking. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 93%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. For some reason, National Weather Service, I think they're having some problems with their, because I'm getting the normally when I get the Roswell weather from the National Weather Service, it's from the stuff at the airport, which that readings are, but the description of the weather is the Chavez County weather. So they don't give me exact temps. They give me like ranges. So I'm going to speak in ranges right now. So just in case you're wondering. For today, breezy with a 100% chance of rain, patchy fog, highs in the lower 50s, east winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, 100% chance. This is weird. Are we sure we're doing Roswell weather? I've never seen 100% chance of precipitation. Like, not once, but like 3 times in a row here. So tonight we're looking at a 100% chance of precipitation, showers and thunderstorms, patchy fog. They say near steady temperatures in the mid-40s, so it's not going to be that cold. Southeast winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Gusting to 45, so I take that back. It will be cold with the winds. Winds continue for you Thursday with a 100% chance of rain again. We're looking at, with thunderstorms, patchy fog, 40s for highs. Again, windy again with 20 to 30 mile an hour southeast winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. And then Thursday night, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain. Could even see a little bit of snow showers mixed in. They won't last very long. Kids, you're going to school on Friday. Looking at rain through the evening, and then a lower 30s for Thursday night. Friday, it all goes away. Rain just stops, parts and leaves, and goes on to wherever it's going next. Partly cloudy, and for the morning, becoming mostly sunny as the day progresses. Could see some fog in the morning. Low 50s for highs on Friday. Looking at the weekend, clear and sunny for Saturday with highs in the upper 50s, and Sunday more of the same, sunny upper 50s for a high there. So, but today, tomorrow, Thursday, today and tomorrow mostly, not so much Friday, rain. All right, it is 7:26. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Janine Best will join us from the Chavez County Federated Republican Women on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
When life is hard, we're here to help. At Artesia General Hospital, our mental and behavioral health experts address a range of challenges including stress, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, bipolar disorder, suicidal thoughts, grief, and more. From counseling to personalized treatment plans, our compassionate care is designed to meet the unique needs of both teenagers and adults. Please visit artesiageneral.com/you matter to make an appointment at our Artesia or Carlsbad offices.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal opportunity employer.
At New Mexico Gas Company, we believe there's money hiding in your home. It's true. It's hiding in your insulation, in your water heater, and in your furnace. And New Mexico Gas Company can help you tap into that money with rebates up to $800 for high-efficiency natural gas improvements. Your energy costs will go down, and your wallet will thank you. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and we provide energy efficiency solutions to save you money. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgcgetrebates.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:29, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Janine Best back with us. Good morning.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
How's life at in your world this morning?
It's good. It's nice and drizzly, and it's really not a rain. It's kind of a heavy mist out there.
It is. It feels like we're in London or something like that.
I live about 5 or 6 blocks to the west of here, and I had to turn my windshield wipers on at least 4 times to get across the streets there.
Yeah.
So
well, that's what I was mentioning earlier. This is the first time ever I got oil change and all that done on my Jeep over the weekend, and I got the wiper blades replaced. And normally it's like 6 months before I get to try them. And by that time they're already half dry rotted.
I was just thinking I need to go get mine replaced on this pickup because they're streaking.
Yeah, but today I was like, oh, look at that. 4 days later, I was like, oh, they're quiet.
Exactly.
There's not a big streak in the middle. I was
exactly.
Like, gonna be a good day, Mike.
Exactly. Of course, it's supposed to, like you said, I was listening to the weather. It's supposed to do this a while.
Yeah, so I get to really put them into practice.
Which is very interesting. But then it's going to head east to Amarillo and all of that. But
sure.
I kind of like that it's not cold.
Yeah, this is perfect.
I didn't get my pecans out of the yard yet, so hopefully they'll soak up a little more water.
There you go. Get a little more moisture and
a little more meat.
Hopefully they're getting good moisture up in the mountains too.
I have no clue.
We'll need that later. For folks that are not familiar, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, they're an organization that do kind of what the title says there. They are an organization that supports the Republican Party and supports the candidates that are running as Republicans in during election cycles and things like that. When that's not going on, they are a service organization for the community, helping out other service organizations, working with their own youth and scholarships and things like that. So it's a nonprofit that is busy all the time. It gets really busy in election cycles.
Yeah, and we touch a lot of people between our literacy and our Americanism. We helped you guys with the wreath.
Big thank you to them. That's I didn't get a chance to say it,
Yeah.
but thank you to the Chaves County Federated Republican Women on behalf of American Legion Post 61. They generated $551, and I don't remember the exact number, but $550 for wreaths across America, which I'm gonna cross plug.
Yep.
By the way, this Saturday is our wreath distribution day. The wreaths that you guys helped donate towards, and everyone else did. We've got I think close to 200 wreaths that we're going to be distributing. Which you guys, about 35 of those I think covered what you guys did. So this Saturday morning the wreaths come at 10 a.m. We're all going to meet at Memory Lawn Cemetery, which is on 19th Street. If you go east on 19th and just drive for a while, and then you'll see it on your left if you're coming off Main. We're going to all meet there at 10 o'clock. The wreaths will be there, and we'll start distributing. All are welcome to come help us do that. I know we're going to have, I think, some of the scouts and things, but the public is more than welcome.
Oh, it should
and
be pretty with the
invited.
shower.
Yeah, exactly.
With the shower, wash everything off,
Yeah,
and get
and
it all
and-
prepared.
And then by Saturday we should be done with all that. So it
Yeah.
should be a beautiful morning to come out and make sure we distribute those 200 wreaths. Now we'll distribute most of them there. We will take some out to the Veterans Memorial. We'll also take them to the one down at the other cemetery, also the one on the courthouse lawn as well too. So but if you would like to be a part of that and join us with that, we're all going to meet 10 a.m. At Memory Lawn there.
So do they just, of course, now you've got me off on a different rabbit trail. Did they just put them at the
graves of veterans?
So they go through the whole cemetery and
yeah,
they
we
know-
have
okay.
a map, if you will, that tells us. And some of the graves are actually, you can physically see a veteran's marking. Some of them have a little coin that's kind of embedded into the
Oh,
tombstone.
interesting. My
Yeah.
uncle does, and he passed in World War II.
Okay.
And he doesn't. Of course, it's on a private lot at
Right,
South Park,
but they
so
have
they're hard to find.
We have the map.
The map
that kind of tells us who's where, and we will go and leave it, and then of course the more we get, the more we do. But we got about 200 we're going to be distributing here on Saturday. So
nice.
So
well,
big
and
thank
we
you.
help a lot with that. You know, like we did our Veterans Day luncheon.
Yes, which was an
that
amazing
was
luncheon.
Big. Thank you for being part of our
I was honored to
speakers.
be a part of that, and I hope it was great to meet a bunch of
It was
veterans,
wonderful.
and I hope they went away full, and
They did.
Yeah.
So are you going to come back next week and sit on Santa's lap?
Well, I don't know if Santa wants me to be on his lap. But.
We'll sit you next to it, or we could have the little elves running around. We have a couple elves.
It just reminded me of a joke. I saw a meme on Facebook that made me laugh, and this one's it hits two nerd sections here.
Okay.
A Christmas Story and Star Wars. So the meme was Santa sitting there, and then there's a stormtrooper sitting on his lap, and the stormtrooper and the Santa says to the stormtrooper, "You can't have a Red Ryder. You're going to shoot your eye out." And the stormtrooper says, "Not even if I tried." And it's a joke to the fact that stormtroopers never shoot straight. So.
Okay.
Just your Santa thing reminded me of
Yeah.
that.
I love my Red Ryder. Oh.
But so Santa's coming for next week.
Santa's coming for next week, and we have two little elves that are handing little goodies out to everybody.
Maybe
so
bring the
gets
kids for this one.
Yeah,
Come
we have a
on.
lot of little gifts coming out, and
Awesome. So this is family. We'll call it family Christmas.
He's kind of a cowboy Santa. I couldn't get his cowboy hat off of him, so that's going to be kind of interesting.
Santa doesn't always go traditional with the red
and in
suit.
this country, cowboys are part of it.
Well, and here, let's be honest. The suit's warm. We
You're
live in
right.
Roswell.
You're right.
He has to have a lighter outfit.
You're right.
Poor man will sweat to death.
We'll tell the convention center to turn their air conditioner on.
I would even expect him in a Hawaiian shirt at this point.
Don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any ideas.
But for folks who don't know, they meet the third Wednesday of every month
Correct.
at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. It's always paired with a delicious lunch.
Yes, this
which you,
month it is ham or chicken, sweet potato souffle, peas and carrots because we got tired of green beans, salad and dessert.
Although I'm not going to lie, the turkey and everything was delicious.
Did you like that?
My favorite thing was the green bean casserole. I loved that green bean casserole. I was like, I want more of that green bean casserole.
Oh, you should have called me. I had some to go home.
Loved that stuff. But
it was good, but we changed to peas and carrots this time.
Awesome. And a sweet potato souffle.
Sweet potato souffle.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. We have it's not a string quartet, it's a brass quartet.
Okay.
By Sandra, I'm going to butcher this, Weikel, Wickel.
Okay.
She's bringing her brass quartet. And then we have an inspirational speaker, Thoughts on Christmas and All of the Ladies by Chris Lethgo.
Okay.
So he's a pastor, and I'm not sure it's one of the Baptist churches.
I've actually met him, yes. He's a very nice gentleman, but you're right. Unfortunately, I do not remember exactly what church he's associated with.
We were able to meet with him. Very nice man. Very nice man.
Yeah.
Very family orientated, and he will uplift our spirits for the holiday season.
Awesome. Good deal.
So it's going to be kind of crazy with Santa, and we've got two little elves.
Good deal.
I don't know what size they are. And free pictures with Santa. You
Awesome.
leave your email address, and we will send those to you.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll have a picture thing set up with Santa,
Good
and
deal.
it'll be fun.
Excellent.
It'll be fun. It's all about fun this time.
Yes.
Because in January,
It gets serious.
it gets serious.
Legislative session.
Legislative session.
It's a 30-day, so it's going to be fast and
Fast
furious.
and furious,
Yeah.
and a lot of education on the upcoming primaries.
Yeah.
And all
So
of that.
if come for the food
Yes.
and the fun and Santa and all that.
Yes.
But also come for the networking.
Yes.
If you want to talk more, a little bit about what's coming up here, meet with some of the representatives, because not only will you see the Chaves County Federated Republican women out in droves doing their thing.
Yes.
But Republican representatives, could be state or
Yes.
local or even higher level sometimes, come by to if they've got a message to share, or they're just coming visiting, or they're campaigning. That happens.
And it is going to be on the 20th. Now, the newspaper had it wrong. They had the
Okay.
wrong date down, so it is the 20th.
It's
which is
always that third Wednesday.
always the third Wednesday.
It's 1 week from today.
Correct. I tried to correct that on Facebook. I think it did go kind of out there, but
Okay.
who knows?
But just know in the back of your head,
Yes.
it's always the third Wednesday of the month. About 11:30, everyone
Yes.
starts gathering and everything.
We start gathering.
If you don't want lunch, no biggie. You can come and just sit
and
and
we're
enjoy
always
it.
done by 1, so you can get back to work.
Yeah, so that way, yeah, exactly. Unless you want to hang out a little after and chit chat.
And we love you hanging out because you can network.
Absolutely.
Not
And
everybody
by the
runs
way,
out.
I'm going to think if there's leftover food, they'll be like, hey, please take the ham home.
Yes, yes, you can take ham home. Yes, yes. Well, and the chicken.
And the chicken, yeah.
I didn't have chicken. I do the menu, and I didn't have chicken down. And the lady said, well, you got to have something other than ham. Not everybody likes ham. And I'm like, man, what's wrong with those people?
I was going to say, this is how we filter out the Americans.
Yes, exactly. I didn't tell the ladies that because, I'd get dirty looks.
Right,
but,
yeah. We make jokes and
I'm
people
always
get all
in trouble,
salty. And you tend to light them quicker than others.
I do. I can set a match faster than anybody.
Yeah, I have that ability too. I just try not to use it. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I accidentally do it. I'm just like, that just fell out of my pocket. I don't know what happened there. But
yeah, my mouth always overrides everything.
I do that all the time. Matter of fact, we hired a new person, and I was having a conference call, and I started saying what I say, and this was off air. You should meet me off air, but and then I was like, "Oops, I forgot." Wait a minute, sorry, you're new. I just talk this way. Don't take offense to it.
I need a warning label. Yeah. Walk around with a warning label on my head. Warning.
I apologize. I'm a little
Don't be
blunt.
offended.
I'm a bit blunt.
Yeah, don't be offended.
Yeah.
Blunt is very hard.
Yeah.
It is very hard.
In a world where there's so many confusing things, blunt is my friend.
Yeah.
Blunt is my world I know.
So you do know we're the biggest, Joan wants me to always say, we're the biggest club in the state of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we want to make it bigger.
We want to make it bigger, and we have started our membership drive. So I think we're up to 50 now.
Sure.
And of course, it's an ongoing thing all year.
Well, and this is all the joking aside, joking about bluntness and all this.
Yeah.
Look, we live in a crazy world right now.
We do.
And if you want to do your part to try to, to do something about it, because at the end of the day, if you want to fix things that are wrong, it ain't going to be government, it ain't going to be someone else doing it. It's got to be you.
It's got to be you.
If there's no one that's going to fight for your passions harder than you.
Correct.
So if you want to see change and to get involved, this is the kind of stuff you do.
Yes.
Come to the meeting next Wednesday, enjoy all the food, talk to some people. If it lines up with what you feel is, get involved. Come out and volunteer. Or better yet, meet some of the candidates that are running for this upcoming cycle. They love to put people in touch. If you want to get more involved in it, maybe there's a candidate that you really just line up with ideally here, then you can get more involved in their campaign and stuff and use the Federated Republican Women. Yeah, as a conduit
because it's
for
a
this.
platform for them to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of ladies there.
So we joke about the ham and the fun and the goofiness and all that, but really this is bringing people together to raise awareness on what's going on and B, do something about it through your most powerful thing you have, your vote.
Yeah.
And so this is what this is all about.
And we work hard. We got 5 awards out of 7 from the New Mexico Federated Women. Let's see. Our first place was for our scrapbook. Of course, we keep our history down. I think we are 50 years old in March.
Wow. So is there like a book, like a big scrapbook?
Every year it's a scrapbook.
It looks like some old Harry Potter spell book or something.
Yes. we get together and we do that at least once or twice every couple weeks, and
Okay.
it's just or every couple months, and it's probably a good 6 inches thick. It's not electronic; it's all glue and cutting and paper.
You might want to get one of your scholarship students to start creating a digital version of this thing just in case.
No,
never.
No,
Just have a backup.
There was a digital one up there this year, and it just doesn't have that love feeling.
I would worry if like a fire or something happened, and you know what I mean.
Well,
like it was at somebody's house, and because then it's
maybe
gone,
we'll
gone.
just take pictures of it.
Yeah.
And
Just
do
at
it
least
that
have
way.
some.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
A recording of it, just in case.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good thought. But
Yeah.
man, that love that goes in there, it's almost like a quilting bee when you sit
Sure.
down to do it. It's a girly thing.
Through the generations, it looks a little different. But each one's little artistic flair to it a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
50 years of those. There's quite a few floating around.
Yeah. And imagine even like fashion trends, like things that were popular 30 years ago that aren't today. Maybe
There's
you'll
a
see
few
evidence.
stored in a barn and a few in a house. They're just kind of floating all over.
It's really it's a time capsule.
Volunteer hours. We got first place for volunteer hours.
Awesome.
Can you imagine that we have volunteer hours?
That's amazing.
No way.
That's great. That's what it's all about.
Caring for America, first place. Of course, the largest club. Let's see. Was there another one? A diamond award, which is all of our things put together. We have to turn all that
kind of an
overall,
like a best in show kind of
best in
category
show kind of
thing.
thing. So that's 5 out of 7. So we were really excited about that.
That's awesome that you guys are kicking butt. This is what So for folks listening locally here, if you have friends, family, and other parts of the state, get them on the stick.
Yeah.
I want you guys to still kick butt, but I want to give you a little competition. Because,
really?
Well, the reason why, because at the end of the day, we all win.
Well,
Because
yeah.
if we get I don't know, the Bernalillo County Federated Republican Women acting like you guys are doing, or the Torrance County Federated Republican Women doing like you, then it's a win for New Mexico.
It's a little harder for the clubs up north.
Yeah. They are
sit
in a little bit different environment than we are.
situation.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes.
fun to listen to them and how they talk back.
But
and
if we can
forth
get
about
the
that.
smaller but louder out of them, and because this is how you raise the voice everywhere.
Exactly.
And we do the competition, but in reality, what's happening is that the message is getting to other parts. of the
and it's
state.
just informative.
Mhm.
We have really good meetings. They're quick. They're fast. It's within your lunch hour.
Mhm.
You can get lunch at the same time, network at the same time, and you don't have to network about politics. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just people in a room
Sure.
that kind of all have the same thoughts.
Yeah, it's life.
Yeah.
It's experiencing life, living life, and seeing life kind of the same way, or at
Correct.
least similar. I mean, no
Correct.
one sees it the same, but at least you kind of see it from the same angle here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're living in a place where, and I'm talking globally here, where there's less and less people seeing the way we see things, and I think it's not because the way we see it's wrong. It's because many people are being misguided.
Yes.
And told or being put in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We just live in that world where.
Well, you can use the word brainwash.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Well, and humans by nature are so willing to be told what to do. It seems like sometimes, and
And it's so sad.
Yeah, and this is one of those areas where it hurts us rather than helps us. This is why our government has checks and balances. This is why, because there's going to be times where someone needs to raise the BS flag and do something about it. And when you get rid of the checks and balances that allow that to happen, then you start getting into things like dictatorships and communism and, socialism.
We're right on that fine line, which is very scary.
That's where that leads. And you're going to have a lot of people that tell you otherwise, but the facts and history will tell you otherwise.
History. The kids are not reading the history.
Yep.
That's the problem, and it's repeating itself.
Yes.
And you can see it unfold on the news and stuff now, and I don't care which news you listen to.
Sure.
You can see it unfold, and that's the sad part.
Absolutely. It's one of these things, and unfortunately, people our age, we grew up in a different world where you could trust the news. Like the news came on, and you're like, oh, that's
good old
the
Walter
news.
Cronkite. He told the truth.
And unfortunately, that's not true anymore.
Yeah, it is not.
And so But unfortunately, we have generation of people like us that we're now that when we hear different, something that we trusted for years is not trusted anymore. It's no different than like a breakup of a relationship or something like that. On a scale, that's kind of what people our age, older, and a little younger are dealing with on some of this stuff.
You are right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we have all the truths, but we have as many as we can get there, and we actually bring the people to you that are involved. So you can talk straight to the horse's mouth and not listen to the
spin.
The spin.
Yes.
Of course, I would use a different term, but hey, we're on radio. I guess I can't use my words.
I said BS earlier, so I think that'll you get the gist.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of it out there.
Absolutely, and that's just it. But and to be honest, all sides have a lot of this. That's where you have to use your brain and delineate who's trying. Because let's face it, there's folks in the Republican Party that that aren't exactly good people either.
Yes.
And so they have their agendas.
They have their own agendas.
Exactly.
And that's my problem with today's world. They have their own agendas, and they don't care about the rest of the city.
Exactly. While the middle of us, the strong middle, and this one's people are going to get a little mad at me about.
That's okay. I don't mind. Go for it.
Like when people use the term rhino and dino, and I'm like, I know you're trying to attack people on that. It's not a bad thing all the time, is all I'm saying is sometimes the other side has a good idea. We need to at least have a forum where we can listen to
We have to
that.
agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And that
listen
doesn't
to all
happen
that.
anymore.
Exactly. And I'm just like, look, you have to go to one extreme or the other, and if you're kind of in the middle, you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
That's the way we live in this world.
You've got to learn
today.
to debate.
And unfortunately, I think 99% of us live in the middle. And in a different spectrum of the middle. But I think most of us say, okay, that's a good idea, even though it's from a Democrat, or that's a good idea, even though it's from a Republican.
Yeah.
We all agree. It's like, look, we've all forgotten.
Yes.
We're all on the same team. It's the United States of America. And the rest of the world wants what we have.
Yes.
And if we don't get our crap together and get on the same side, they're going to eat our lunch.
Well, I don't think it's working it that way at this point.
But this is what people need to wake up and see it. China is not your friend.
Correct.
The Middle East are not your friend.
And I see where you could take everything out of your house and 90% of it is made by China.
Yeah.
I'm like, when did that happen? When did we close our eyes and farm everything out? I look at the poor ranchers and farmers now and all the dairies that are closing and stuff. Where are you going to get your food?
Sure. Well, look at World War II. The reason why we kicked butt in World War II, because we made everything.
Exactly.
This country turned right around and just produced. And man, woman, and child were out doing their part to do it. And we kicked butt because of that.
And the problem is they don't know how now.
Right.
The common sense is gone.
If World War III hit tomorrow, I don't think we could do what we did in World War II.
We couldn't because the common sense is gone unless you have just that certain generation.
Yeah.
And we're old. Sorry, we're tired.
Yeah. Well, and young people wouldn't even get the concept. Like, no, you don't realize car plants were turning into tank factories.
Yep.
Places that were making bottles were now making ammo. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about.
And we were able to prove that during the little COVID thing.
Yeah.
That, we were able to churn some of these.
Sure. Like you saw, like a lot of liquor
around.
companies turning into sanitizer companies and things like that.
We're able to do that. We just have to keep it there.
Yeah. I wonder if you have like a big thing of sanitizer in a vodka bottle, if it's worth money now. Because they were doing some of that during that time. But if you got the sanitizer, but it's in like a vodka bottle, because that's what we had to do. I wonder if that one's like got an eBay
I don't know. We'll have to go on eBay and check it out.
I just thought of that. But that's really what we got. And this is what makes this country great. It's not the politics. It's the people rallying when we need to.
Correct.
And that's what makes this country
amazing. We need to shake up and rally and come down and see Santa, and he'll help us rally.
Yeah, I know we got way over here.
We're way over, but that's okay.
Surprise you and I talking, that happens. But anyway.
But January, it's all going to hit the fan.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to have legislative
and I've already started seeing from the governor and things they want to focus on in the 30-day, and it's not things you want to focus on.
No, there's other things to focus on other than that.
We're last in or 50th and 49th in so many categories, and none of those things were anything I heard being addressed. But they want to take away your guns.
They want to take away your guns.
But they don't care about your kids.
Yep.
They don't care how stupid your kids are. They don't care. Sorry, I'm getting general.
No, you're good. You're good. But I'll rally you back around to the ham meal.
Next Wednesday, come on out to the Roswell Convention Civic Center. Please, if you can RSVP, go. The Chaves County Federated Republican Women have a Facebook page. Yes. It's under Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Put that in the search. Yep. It'll pop right up. Like and follow it.
Yes.
That way you can stay up to date on what's going on. But shoot a message saying, hey, and one of the ladies will catch your message. And
you can go back and watch some of the meetings because I've taped some of the meetings.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I went back and watched the veterans one.
Okay.
I got to see the video of that. And
I'm not as good as you guys are with your cameras, but I'm trying.
We spent a lot of money to screw this up. So.
I was looking at your one little camera. It says, I have one of those in my closet.
Maybe these are old school. These are
I
old
like
school.
that.
We haven't upgraded on those yet.
I like
They're
old school. Some of us are old school.
We're a mix of modern and ancient. Like one day you ought to come down to our Artesia office. Like that is the museum of stuff. Like the board that's in one of the is literally from 40, 50 years ago.
But does it still work?
It does.
There you go.
It does. It's got a few quirks. It's a little cranky, but it does still work.
Well, I got a few quirks, and I'm a little cranky too.
Me
too.
Me too. But yes. But if you have any questions, Chaves County Federated Republican Women Facebook page, shoot your message there, and come on out next Wednesday. 11:30 is when everything gets underway. I think you really start the program about noon or so.
Yeah.
But food and settling and greeting and meeting and get you some tickets, win some cash or something, like that.
Yeah,
all that
we have a custom red purse that we help for our scholarship. We do a door prize scholarship.
And all that goes back to the kids.
All of it goes back to the kids. The kids need to start thinking about their patriotism and stuff like that so we can get our scholarships made.
These ladies are setting the foundation for the next generation here. And these young men and women that are under the scholarship program, these are your next mayors and city councilors and business owners and things like that. So,
exactly.
Good deal. As always, appreciate the visit. We'll see you next time.
You.
And if there's
that
anything
went
else
fast today. Wow.
I know it is. It's 5 till 8 already.
Wow.
You talk about ham and bad people, and time flies.
Got it.
Thank you, Judy. We'll
Thank you, sir.
Time.
God bless.
You too. It is 7:54. Let us pause for news. Your sports update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Newly crowned U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson has endorsed former U.S. House Representative Yvette Harrell in a crucial U.S. congressional race next year. Speaker Mike Johnson said Tuesday that Harrell is the right choice to return the seat to Republican hands as we work to grow the House majority and, quote, get America back to work. Johnson was named House Speaker in October after a contentious selection to replace Kevin McCarthy. Democrat Gabrielle Vasquez narrowly defeated Harrell in her bid for a second term last year. Meanwhile, all of the members of our state's current congressional delegation are expressing outrage over a decision to block compensation for folks sickened by exposure to radiation during nuclear weapons testing and the mining of uranium during the Cold War. The bill previously offered up compensation to residents of New Mexico, Colorado, Montana, Guam, and Missouri, as well as parts of Arizona, Nevada, and Utah, who were not covered under the current program. The GOP-controlled House removed the new provisions from the new act on Tuesday. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. How about we check in with sports at NMMI? JC style. The New Mexico Military Institute's basketball team, for men's basketball team, is off to a staggering start, 4-8 now on the season. Their last game was December 3rd, a 68-58 loss to Trinidad State College. Next up will be in the new year. It'll be consecutive nights, January 5th and 6th, against something called Strength in Motion. I don't know. Also, the New Mexico Military Institute volleyball season wrapped up successful, 28-6 overall. The Broncos were the number 1 seed at regionals in Weatherford, Texas, but lost to number 8 Odessa College there, and then was eliminated with a 3-2 loss to number 9 in the nation, New Mexico Junior College. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said she believes inflation is coming down meaningfully. Yellen said she sees no reason on the path that we're currently on why inflation should not gradually decline to levels consistent with the Federal Reserve's 2% target. The United Auto Workers Union has filed unfair labor practice charges against Hyundai Motor, and Volkswagen, citing aggressive campaigns against unions to deter workers from organizing. The union's filings with the National Labor Relations Board are the latest steps by the union to draw attention to its efforts to organize workers at Tesla and foreign-owned U.S. auto plants. 6 U.S. lawmakers have written to the Federal Trade Commission expressing their opposition to the proposed $24.6 billion acquisition of grocery chain operator Albertsons by Kroger Company. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
There's a Honda for every holiday adventure. Whether it's traveling to the holiday family dinner in an efficient Accord hybrid, or heading to a hike to burn it off in a powerful CR-V hybrid. Find your new Honda during Happy Honda Days. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2024 Accord hybrid and 2024 CR-V hybrid.
Happy Honda Days are here, and just in time for the best deal of the year. Visit Roswell Honda today.
See dealer for financing details.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:59. About ready for Town Hall News here, but real quick, want to wish a happy 30th birthday to Joel over at Harvest Ministries. Celebrating the big 3-0 today. Someone buy him lunch and help him out as he's doing all that great work for the community. All right, it is time for news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Key news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A very busy day at the U.S. Capitol and at the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court has agreed to hear an appeal that could ultimately upend obstruction charges brought against hundreds of defendants, including former President Trump, stemming from the U.S. Capitol riot. Also at the High Court, the justices will take up a dispute over a medication that is used in the most common method of abortion in the United States. Hunter Biden, subpoenaed to testify today behind closed doors at the U.S. Capitol, is on Capitol Hill. The presidential son lashing out at Republican impeachment investigators. Hunter Biden insisting that he will only testify in public. At the state level, the New Mexico Supreme Court is weighing whether to strike down local abortion restrictions.
New Mexico's abortion laws are among the most liberal in the country, but in communities where opposition runs deep, officials say they have the right to enforce federal abortion restrictions under a 19th century U.S. law that prohibits the shipping of abortion medication and supplies. I'm Julie Walker.
Tesla recalling more than 2 million vehicles to fix a defective system that is supposed to ensure that drivers are paying attention when they use autopilot.
U.S. safety regulators say the company will send out a software update to fix the problems. The recall comes after a 2-year investigation by U.S. auto safety regulators into a series of crashes that happened while the autopilot partially automated driving system was in use. Some were deadly.
Correspondent Jeremy House. No change in wholesale inflation in November from the month before. That according to the Labor Department's Producer Price Index. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 4 points, NASDAQ up 21. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Part of Australia is being lashed by a powerful storm.
Tropical cyclone Jasper is bearing down on the North Queensland coast, bringing destructive winds and heavy rain. Australian authorities say there's a risk of life-threatening flooding. Residents have been preparing for the onslaughts. Many are well used to nature's extremes, but they're being urged to stay indoors or go to an evacuation centre. Several thousand homes are without power, and the international airport in Cairns is closed. Sugarcane and banana farmers are hoping their crops are spared the serious damage inflicted by previous cyclones.
The BBC's Phil Mercer. Ukrainian officials say a Russian missile attack on Kiev has resulted in more than 50 injuries, several buildings damaged. A series of loud explosions heard in Kiev at 3 a.m. local time today. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. A wildfire-ravaged Hawaiian community is well down the road to recovery.
The heart of the historic town of Lahaina that burned in a wildfire that killed at least 100 people on Maui is reopening to residents and business owners holding day passes. The renewed access marks an important emotional milestone for victims of the August 8th fire, but much work remains to be done to safely clear properties of burned debris and rebuild. The unopened areas include Banyan Tree Park, which is home to a 150-year-old tree that burned in the fire but is now sprouting new leaves. John Scott reporting.
About 7 in 10 Asian American and Pacific Islanders in the U.S. believe the country is headed in the wrong direction. Only about 1 in 10 believe that democracy is working extremely or very well. This is according to a new poll from AAPI Data and the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but like Wednesday seems the perfect day for a chicken pot pie.
Yeah, especially a day like today, like when it's overcast, when the rain's falling down. That's a hearty fix.
I just like thinking, like someone's like, you know what sounds good? Piping hot, fresh chicken pot.
You know, I'm a sucker for the KFC. Just in the sense where I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for the KFC chicken pot pie, but I didn't realize until just recently there's no under crust.
No, it's not.
It's just top crust.
It's just top crust. Yeah.
It's just it's not enough
which is not a bad thing.
It's not bad. It's just it's not enough crust.
Well, to be honest, like if you get like your frozen pot pies, they overcrust.
You think?
There's too much crust. The crust, the gravy to innard ratio is not right.
See, I like this. I like the crisp on the top, but I also like that kind of soft, soggy on the bottom.
Yeah.
That kind of
well, to be honest,
blends
the
well
crisp
with the...
on the top, I'm less of a fan of.
Really?
The edges. Okay. To me, it dries out, and you gotta.
Now we're talking about like your frozen Marie Callender's banquet pot pies.
The low end pot pies.
Well, see.
So the edges get too, and I know you put the foil around them if you're going to cook them old school and not microwave them, but it still leaves a brown on it that you've got to immerse it in that chicken gravy or turkey gravy or beef gravy if you're a beef pot pie.
Sure.
To get it palatable.
But that's the thing is, as soon as you get the pot pie, I mean, you're gonna enjoy some of the innards first, but eventually you're gonna take the outers.
I do.
And concave it into the
But
innards.
to me, there's not enough gravy to fully immerse the dry. Like that's why I say put more innards in it if you're going to do that, so I can soak it properly. So when KFC doesn't put a bottom, doesn't necessarily bother me.
You're okay with that. I can appreciate that.
And I think a lot of homemade pot pies don't have a bottom.
True, it could just be there's the top crust with the innards.
Yeah, usually when I've had homemade versions. And it's usually more of a casserole than a individual pie per se.
I've not wanted a pot pie more than I do right now.
Well, as a kid, I think this is where people our age can relate. Mom and Dad make dinner or whatever, but that night that they pull out them little banquet pot pies and say that's dinner, as a child, it's like it's gonna be a good night.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I was always a fan. Yeah. And yes, that's low effort night for mom, but I don't care.
But that's just it.
Exactly.
As kids, you wanted the fast food, the homemade stuff you don't appreciate till you're our age. When you're a kid, you're like, no, I want chicken nuggets that came out the bag. I want the sausage that came out the bag. I don't want that homemade thing that you slaved over all that. No, that's garbage. I want that brown and serve one that you.
I have out loud said to my son, "You are not that white. You were born in Roswell. You can handle a little spice." He tells me the sausage from McDonald's is too spicy. I'm like, come on.
That's a kid thing. He'll outgrow that.
You're not that white, boy. Come on.
He's your son. He will outgrow that.
He better outgrow that.
He is your son.
He'd be in trouble if he don't outgrow that.
Give him time. He will be eating.
If he ain't mainlining hot sauce by 16, he ain't my kid.
I guarantee you, in a few years, he's going to be eating MREs with you.
Not my MREs. That thing's expensive.
Get your own, boy. Yeah.
I'm doing this for the people.
Yeah, he's at the age where he's picky about everything. Yeah.
By the way, I did... I posted a video of it too, but I enjoyed my McRib last week.
Good for
and
you.
I'm glad I did because they're already gone.
Really?
I know.
Well, here's the weird
thing. They checked
thing.
out for smokes and they're not going to be back again for another year.
Here's the weird flex. For the first time this rib season, I saw a McRib commercial last night on TV.
Now, it could be coming back, but as of right now, it's not available on the app menu. It's still there. It just says not available. I think a lot of it's because they're putting all their eggs into the Kerwin Frost basket. The Kerwin Frost meal thing that you can get the little nugget pal. By the way, not a sponsor today, but yeah, no, I was kind of bummed. I was had my mouth all set up for a McRib yesterday, and it was gone.
But yeah, I saw my first TV commercial for McRib yesterday, and it's weird that you tell me they don't have them now. I'm like, I've been eating them for 2 weeks or 3 weeks now.
I feel like maybe
just finally saw a commercial for them.
I feel like maybe this might be a Mambo sauce situation where they're just out for now.
Well, McRib does go. I remember one year, McRib season started, and they were done in like a day.
Really?
Like I remember 2 days later going to get a McRib, and they're like, "We're out.
We're McOut.
We're McRibless." I was like, "Bummer. Give me a fish. Give me my usual DFF."
I got DFF down at the at the Mickey D's.
It's a McDFF.
That's right.
Double fillet fish. That's
Mhm.
the go-to.
But yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I was like, oh, no slivered onions no more. But I did manage to get my hands on one. And, there's something.
I saw your TikTok
it's
video on it.
which people complain about all my movement. I don't have a place to put my phone in my car, okay? But no, it's one of those, and I mentioned in the video, it's literally just as soon as you bite into it, it's exactly the same as it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
That consistency is, you just don't find that anywhere.
Yep. And it had the sauce all over the container, just like it's supposed to. Yeah, it was good.
That drip, as the kids say.
Yeah. When I talk about food, the term drip doesn't usually come in as
We got to figure out.
Certain words don't work in food.
We got to figure out something else for hour number 3 because we went in with potato chips in hour 1, pot pies and McRibs in hour number 2.
Yeah.
We're running the risk of setting a precedent.
Well, if I challenge us to go through an entire show without talking about food at some point.
Oh, an entire show? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
But an entire segment.
Oh, what are you new? We could easily do that.
That's a challenge.
we could easily do that. Yeah. I could have gone another set on the Let's Chips if y'all needed me to.
No. They've gotten their plug. They're good. They are just fine.
Man, I hope the Utz people are hearing this and cut me a check.
They should be.
Because by golly, if your sales go up in this part of the country, it's because of me.
Mm-hmm.
And me alone.
Looks like I'm a one-man salesman.
That's right. I want Utz checks. I want Utz royalties. Or
Just
pay me
in
in chips.
chips, yeah.
I'll say pay me in chips. That would be equally good. A big old box with bags of barbecue chips show up every couple weeks. I'd be good with that.
One of the most infuriating things about watching like influencers, YouTubers, whatever, is when you see somebody who's clearly got means, like they've got, a decent amount of money, and a company will just send them a box of something, like a whole box of their product.
Yeah.
That they could just easily go out and
That's why it's good to be a celebrity.
Oh, man. I haven't made it there. The max of my celeb status is Nokia Lumia 900 from Windows Phone.
Well, that's why everyone's doing their TikTok channels and everything. They're hoping they're going to be the next, big name on there so they can get free stuff and make, because let's face it, there's a whole generation of people our age that are jelly of these kids that can play a game and make $100,000 a year having people watch him play a game on a computer.
Sure.
I mean,
that being said, I do not have that skill. That's a skill set that I do not have.
Is have a backup plan. That the bottom of that will fall out at some point. You're not going to be a 70-year-old man playing video games and still make the kind of money you're making right
now. In fairness, that applies to pretty much every athlete. And I know it's a stretch when I call a professional gamer an athlete.
Well, but you're absolutely right. That's the same problem the NFL players and NBA players. They make millions of dollars, and how many times do you hear about your favorite football player 10 years later they're hawking something because they're broke?
Yep.
Or they're in jail because they got in some weird Ponzi scheme or did some bad business decisions.
Right.
It's be smart with that money you make now. Don't be blinging it out on Lamborghinis and whatnot.
Spend your 8 years in the NFL, then go buy a car lot. Yeah. Just do it the way.
All you gamers out there, go follow, and listen to Chad Ochocinco. Chad Ochocinco will set you up for success. And I'm not joking. People will be like, what do you mean Chad Ochocinco? Watch his videos. Have you seen what he's doing? That man is a frugal dude.
Yeah.
Like Chad Ochocinco, formerly known as Chad Johnson. I don't even know if he goes by Ochocinco anymore. I have no idea what he does. But anyway, he does all these videos where he's talking about, he goes, I didn't spend all that big bucks back in the day. He goes, like his first couple seasons, he slept at the stadium.
Really?
He didn't because he wouldn't be close and didn't want to spend money on a house. And so he literally lived at the stadium. Like he'll go to places like, what's the jewelry store that you see in the malls all the time?
Zales?
Not Zales. It's more of not jewelry. It's more of a girl's trendy, but they sell like cheap jewelry and stuff too.
Oh, Claire's.
Like a Claire's. Thank you,
okay.
Claire's. There you go. He's rolling up into Claire's, and he's like, I have $30,000 diamonds. They're sitting in a safe at home. I'm wearing these bad boys from Claire's. So he's rolling around in his Claire's diamonds while he's got one. But it's,
right.
And he says all that stuff. He goes, no, man. He goes, I didn't buy cars. He goes, and so Chad Ochocinco literally has most of the money that he made in
Nice.
his playing days. And he's a multi-millionaire. You know why he's still that way? And he's not, because he literally lived frugally. And I'm not saying you have to go sleep in your work and all that stuff, but just
you're not-
saying, just because you make $1 million don't mean you don't need a $1 million home. Get
But
something
you're
that's comfortable.
so you're not saying sleep at your work, but you're not saying that, right? You're saying. There's been a couple of nights that
Just saying, just because you
that couch is incredibly comfortable.
Just because you make millions, don't mean you have to spend like you make millions.
It's true.
You know, you
It's
can.
very true.
You can live very comfortably on. Shoot, you make millions a year. Budget for say $100,000 a year. Live off that.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily live off $100,000 a year.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you do
For several years, in fact.
Yeah, that's the move. So, kids, if you do blow up your TikTok channel, go. Don't listen to me, Chad Ochocinco. Go to him.
Stop listening to this show right now.
Chad Ochocinco. He's going to be your mentor on this one. So, sounds like our guest is here.
I believe so.
We're going to have Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, join us here in just a few minutes. Give us a rundown on the meeting from Monday night and other things happening around the school district. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety. Also, don't forget our 12 Days of Mannheim coming up here in a minute.
Yes.
I don't know what day we're on. The 13th, whatever day that is. See, the Mannheim features, they're not the true 12 days of Christmas. I mean, they are, but they're not 12 days from Christmas because we don't celebrate the weekends.
Right.
With Mannheim Steamroller. We only celebrate the weekdays. So even though it's the 12 days of Christmas, we start like at the beginning of December. So we skip weekends. And then, matter of fact, there'll only be one on a weekend. Sunday.
Yep,
Christmas
that's right,
Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll have that for you here this hour as well. And whatever else we can come up with for the show this hour. But first, let's take a look at that weather. It's going to rain. Matter of fact, it is raining. Still raining. Will rain. Continue to rain and rain till like Friday.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got rain coming up today with a fairly strong low-pressure system headed through the area. About 50 on the afternoon high, and rain will be likely through the day. Rain tapers off to showers overnight with our low dropping into the mid-40s, and then we get another round of showers and a few thunderstorms coming up on Thursday. High will be in the low 50s. We're back to sunny weather on Friday with low 50s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 and misty. Foggy and misty. Humidity is at 90%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Things I have not said in a while, or maybe ever. 100% chance of rain for you folks in Roswell today and tomorrow, and tonight and tomorrow. All of that. I've never seen a 100% chance of rain on here consistently. That's weird, man. Breezy showers today, patchy fog, highs in the low 50s today. East winds breezy, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, windy and rainy with a 100% chance of rain. Could see some thunderstorms this evening, patchy fog. They're talking temps in the mid 40s overnight, so it will be pretty warm overnight, but windy. Winds out of the southeast, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Thursday, more rain, more wind, more of all that. 100% chance of precip once again for you Thursday. Winds will be blowing out of the southeast, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Could see some patchy fog. Temps will be in the mid-40s once again for Thursday. Thursday night, our chances of rain drop down to 50%. Mostly cloudy. Could see a few snow showers in there, too. Nothing to accumulate, so you're going to school, kids. They're talking, once again, winds winds a little bit less. They're not even mentioning the winds here, just talking about the rain and a chance of a little snow there. So not too bad there. 30s for overnight low, lower 30s Thursday night. And then Friday, it all goes away. Partly cloudy in the morning, gradually becoming sunny by the afternoon. With highs in the lower 50s for your Friday or for your Saturday, and looking more of that, looking at partly cloudy and upper 50s for Saturday and Sunday temps there. All right, it is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we'll have Superintendent Brian Luck join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell Nissan's deal days are here, and that means the most wonderful deal of the year. Rates as low as 0% for 60 months for qualified buyers, 10 grand off new Armadas, 13 grand off new Titans, and top dollar for your trade. And with the largest selections of new and pre-owned inventory in the state, Roswell Nissan has what you need, priced to move. With payments as low as $175 a month on quality pre-owned vehicles and a team of experts ready to make it the most wonderful deal of the year, hurry to Roswell Nissan now before the deal is gone. Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd. Knowledge is the power to see more, do more, and be more. As one of the most affordable universities in the Southwest, Eastern New Mexico University has helped thousands of people like you earn a degree. Spring 2024 at ENMU is the perfect time to get started with affordable tuition, great scholarships, and a wide range of in-person or online classes. Learn your power. Apply today for spring 2024 at enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Here's Chip Davis, founder of Mannheim Steamroller, with today's Christmas Countdown.
Just on my way to mail my Christmas cards. You know, Christmas cards first appeared in 1843 England. Back then, most folks would write a personal Christmas letter to each of their friends. But Sir Henry Cole, a British writer and public servant, was simply too busy. So he asked an artist friend to design a Christmas calling card for him. It was lithographed, hand-colored, and simply read, "A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you." It was an instant hit, and this year, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, over 20 billion cards, letters, and packages will pass through the U.S. Post Office. So let's get them in the mail. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
More than 500,000 subscribe to The Current. Get TechSmart every day. It's free at getkim.com.
At Artesia General Hospital, our emergency department experts care for more than 10,000 people each year. Our emergency department is open 24 hours a day and there's always a doctor on duty. We specialize in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma services, making sure you have access to quality care when every second counts. From unexpected illness to serious injuries, you can trust our team to provide exceptional emergency care in any situation. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, dare I say for the final time in 2023.
Yes.
Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, joining us this morning. Good morning, sir. How you
Good
doing
morning.
today?
We're doing great.
Good deal. Well, you guys met for the final time in 2023 on Monday night. I guess officially.
Officially yes.
Met for the final. I'm sure they have, other meetings and things in between, but
we hope not.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's or powwows. We'll call them, they're not official meetings. We call them powwows or get-togethers,
right?
Or just sharing of information. But if you missed it, good news is you can always go back and watch them. They are on the Roswell Independent School District's website. Or if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just hang out for the next 20, 30 minutes here, and we'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly from the meeting on the other night.
Absolutely.
Good deal. But that being said, before we get into that, just talk about Christmas. How are things at schools? Already gearing up as the Christmas break's right around the corner here. How's everything going in that stuff?
You know, it is back to that thing again where the teachers come home at night and go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make this till next Friday. everybody's excited. You know, I mean, it's so the calendars. If you've taught long enough, or here in Roswell at least, it's a cyclic deal. Last year, our Christmas break we had a lot of time on the front end of Christmas and very little time on the back end. I think we came back on January 2nd.
Yeah, it was like right after New Year's, it seemed like.
Yeah, bam, you're back in business, and it made January feel like its own year. This year, it's a pretty good push. So we're going to go
long in the front.
We go long in the front,
back.
and well, we wind up next Friday. We have early dismissal. The high schools are doing their finals. Everybody else is early dismissal. And pow, it's Christmas. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, Monday will be Christmas. Friday, you get out Friday, Monday's Christmas.
Right.
So.
The flip to that is they'll have a lot of time afterwards. So
they'll get to enjoy January.
Right. And then the piece to that I've got, actually that's in my notes to talk to my administrators about here in a little bit, is that, yes, you're coming back in January on, we come back on the 8th, the kids on the 9th. But when they walk back in the door, they only have 3.5 weeks left in January.
Right.
So
so it's kind of crunch time for them.
Well, it's just, I don't know. As far as at the secondary level, I really liked it because that made January a little bit easier.
Sure.
To push through. But I mean, I do know that it has created some difficulties with some people and some travel. And I know we've got some families that do travel far distances. And it's like I said, just hang in there. It starts to work itself out the next,
sure,
as the years go by.
And to be honest, if your student is a regular, goes to school, does everything they're supposed to be doing, and your plans don't quite line up with the vacation plans, as long as there's not a history of missing school, I don't see you as long as you're working with your teachers and the principal and saying, hey, they're going to be missing on this day. Can I get their work, so they can work on it while the thing and all that? Like, if you make those kinds of arrangements, I'm sure the teachers and the principals will be happy to work with you on that kind of
Well, and if there is such a thing as a good thing that came out of, the last 3 years, we are a whole lot more ready to take things online. Here, do this or take this to where you're going.
Like Albuquerque's already said they're done with school days or snow days and all that stuff.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
that's on the list. So. But it does, it is easier for our teachers because they've had to do a whole lot worse. So when we say, hey, I've got a kiddo that's going to miss the last week of school or the last 3 days of school, they already have a procedure in place because they've already had to do that.
Sure.
So. No, I mean, we've got lots of Christmas concerts. And
sure.
I was out by Barreno Middle School last night, and their winter concert was going on.
The schools are going all out.
It is so nice to see families getting out back into doing that.
Because this is the normal stuff.
We're back in normal.
All this was gone during COVID, and we're just now seeing it as part of the regular, it's that time of year, time for our Christmas concert.
Well, and I've had to remind a couple people, that they'll get kind of wound up, and I said, but this is what we're after. These are the bad things that we want.
Exactly.
And they just kind of looked at me and I said, no, seriously. I was like,
this is normal school stuff.
This is regular.
Yeah.
It may have a different frame around it, but this is what regular is. And, I know I laugh. Go home and my wife will say, well, you don't remember what it's like. And I said, no, I don't, because I didn't work in this, kind of a time frame. But, I said, it is what it is. We're moving forward. And, I'm excited. We've had a really good first semester.
That's great.
We were talking about it the other night at the board meeting as far as all the things that have gone on, all of the different events, the different trainings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot.
Well, y'all have focused on curriculum, and pretty much, that's what you guys have had to focus on for this semester. What you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
The school board and this is what they're supposed to be laying the plans. Like, what you guys are seeing in school now, this was decided a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, they're working towards the future at the board level. And so they're working on things like, hey, we got to upgrade the reading program. We got to upgrade the math program, whatever it is. That's the stuff they're supposed to be working on. Well, so that's what I think you're talking about. It's the good stuff,
Well, and as we hit Christmas, and it's funny because there is still half a year left to go. But in my world, I'm already looking 24, 25.
Right.
We're going to start work on a calendar, get that out so that we can get that approved. Hopefully, we usually have to wait on the budget process so that they can tell us everything. Found that out last year.
Sure.
That was something that they did not like that we had done, and we had to go back and fix it.
Sure.
We have a better understanding, we think, this time. A 30-day legislative session So we should be able to get stuff a little quicker.
I do want to ask you real quick, what's some of the things that are going to be like that you guys have already put on your radar that you're going to be looking here in January? I'm sure there's a few things you guys heard that you said, all right, we need to pay attention to this this next 30 days.
Well, one of the big ones that's come out is the state is looking at a 180-day requirement across the board.
Okay.
So that does not impact us.
Okay.
It's interesting. I've had two groups reach out to our district as far as, hey, would you be willing to say the state shouldn't do that? And I said, hey, we're at 188, and we benefit.
We're in compliance.
We're in compliance plus, and we do benefit financially for that because of the extra days. That's one of the things that we get out of it.
Well, I have never heard, a kid will say it, but I've never heard a parent saying that boy needs less schooling.
Yeah. Well, and that ultimately that's where it came from. But there is a move really basically to would end 4-day school weeks across the state.
Okay.
And so my thing on that is, in conjunction with the board is that's a local thing. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I look at it is if as small schools can get those things done, that is not for me to tell them.
Well, and then some schedules work better for them than not. Right. Like just it's the thing, no coat fits everyone, and that, you can't. And that's kind of what happens sometimes. Is like, here's the coat. It's like, yeah, but that coat don't fit me.
Right.
And I'm very oversimplifying it, but that's in essence what's going on. That's what you're saying. It's
right.
Like, hey, that don't work for us. Works for you. I'm not going to tell you how to do your thing, but that's not how we do our thing.
The thought a few years ago was that we had learning loss, and everybody recognizes that, and that the legislators came in. Thank you. Don't want to misspeak on that. Thank you, and offered up opportunities for districts that wanted to take them to increase the number of days, and then you could add to your to the formula to help cover it financially. So we took advantage of that, and then we continued to take advantage of it last year, and we'll continue to take advantage of it again next year. So we're sitting right at about 188 days.
Good deal.
But that being said, I don't think that I should have to be able to, or I should get to tell Artesia or Carlsbad or Rio Rancho, that you have to do what this particular place is doing. So that's coming up. I think that'll be a big one for us on the radar. And then usually, as always, you're coming back to your funding sources and different things.
Money.
Are we
going to get some? We're going to lose some. What are we getting here? So.
Well, and as a superintendent's association, our response to most things is more doesn't always make it better. Better's better.
Sure.
And so as we're looking for solutions, that we need to make sure that we're looking for solutions that work versus just
throwing money at problems can help in lots of scenarios, but not every scenario. In education, money's a start, but without the qualified people and the experience behind it, it doesn't really do a hill of beans. It's no different than military.
Right.
You could have all the tanks you want, but no one knows how to drive them or use them. What good are they?
But I will say this too. I have been very blessed with the legislative team that's in this particular area.
Mm-hmm.
They're always very open, but they also have been very forthcoming. We want to see results, and dollars don't just grow on trees. And if they're going to support things or work for things, they want to make sure that they're going
absolutely
for the best thing.
Well, and plus people learn differently and things, and so you got to have benchmarks and criteria and requirements. You've got to meet these requirements, but when it comes to getting there, that's where we can the devil in the details isn't really always. It's like over here it works a certain way. Why mess with that?
Right.
And so that's kind of what you're saying. It's like, look, we all can agree there's an end result we need to get to, but let the boots on the ground handle the details on how that gets done.
When you mentioned a minute ago the vacancies, you mentioned them. You didn't call them by that name, but we were really surprised and very happy. We were looking through our numbers the other day. I believe it's like 22 vacancies, certified vacancies across the district, and of those vacancies, one particular department, which is special education, has 7 or 8 of those vacancies. So when you go to our numbers 4 or 5 years ago to where we are now, when we do recruiting fairs, we actually recruit, but we don't sign up anymore. For the last 3 or 4 years, we were offering letters of intent on the spot because we needed to make sure that we could secure people.
Sure.
We're finally at a spot.
It was a supply and demand thing.
Well,
demand was great and there wasn't enough of them. So you had to kind of dibs them.
Well, and it's interesting because the demand is still out there. The supply is still the same, but for Roswell, we've actually gotten to the point where we can hold very quality interviews, and the competition is starting to get back to where it was 10, 15 years ago.
Roswell is a more attractive location for many educators.
Very, but even within the district, as far as a vacancy or an opening, you'll have, whereas you would have 3 or 4 qualified applicants that would apply. Now you're getting 7, 8 applicants and tenured. That it goes back to where it's starting to make the difference in the classroom too. And we're starting to see that. So that was a lot of what the meeting was the other night. Was Miss Cole and her team were able to kind of connect some dots and show some trend lines that were really neat.
We're in the good direction, which is good.
Finally.
Well, and that's the thing that, the numbers and teachers and, sure, you the numbers are important, you got to have, but the numbers, it's also that quality. And that's kind of where you're touching into is that experience is what's making the difference. When you get those tenured teachers that have 5, 10 plus years of teaching under their belt, that experience translates into better results for your students. It just does.
Well, and our alt license people that bring such a unique perspective to the classroom, we've got a group of them that have got about 4 or 5 years of teaching experience now, that they've really started to hit their stride as far as they knew their craft from the industry or from the business that they worked at. It was picking up the things that they had missed from I use the word teacher college, picking up the things that they missed from there and really just, again, like I said, we've got a great group in there.
Sure.
They are hitting their stride moving forward.
And just because, you're married to one too, as I am, teachers are a creative, like by and large. Just if you had to lump in generalized teachers, which they, by and large, they are a creative group of people. They are the type of people that you give them lemons, they'll make lemonades. That's what they do. No matter how bad the lemons are, they're going to figure out a way to make lemonade. They may grumble about it while doing it, especially to people like spouses, but
no comment.
But these are people that will go through a brick wall for your kids, by and large, and they will they get handed problems sometimes that they don't. Most of us are like, how the heck are we going to solve that one? And they figure it out. They're amazing people, and for the love of God, treat them with respect. For please, I've seen some of the things parents have said to teachers and things, and shut up and listen. You're not knowing what you're talking about in some of these cases.
Well, I don't think anybody would come in and visit with you and say that their industry is perfect by any means. And I would say the same about ours, but I will say this too. We have made some phenomenal strides in a very short period of time that have put Roswell in a much better place. Now, I mean, the pundits will come out and say, yes, but you're still this, and look at your test scores. Understand that, I mean, we
that's
have
not going to
standards.
change overnight. You've got to get there. You got to work.
And I think that the key for us is that we do have goals and that we do have priorities within that as far as the movements that we're showing. I was in a presentation the other day that somebody was putting on and how some of our scores have gone up, anywhere from 5 to 10% in particular places, particular grade levels, particular places. And that's huge. That's a little thing that if you've always talked about the devil's in the detail. And public perception. I mean, it's easy to see something come out in the paper and say, well, it's not working, and it's like, well, be careful. If you dig down about 2 layers, I bet you it is.
Well, and then you look at numbers, and we're still seeing the impact of COVID from numbers. I don't care what anybody says. We're still playing catch up a little bit for a certain sect of students. That didn't, when they were kindergarten, first and second graders, when COVID hit, those kids lost a lot of valuable. That's a sweet spot for getting a lot in them, and we're still playing catch it up for that from that little era there for some of these. But now these kids are 5th graders, and and so they're still dealing with some of that.
My group that I'm watching is 2nd and 3rd grade.
Yeah,
and as far as my bellwether is that. Those were the early on, like you said, the kindergarten, the pre-K, that really missed a lot of the formative stuff, the things that the soft skills that no one,
the foundation area
that
stuff.
No one seemed to think and say, hey man, that really is a whole lot more important than you realize. You say, no, this is the more important thing. And it did. It forced us to take a really hard, long look and go, we've got to make sure that we recover that. So,
that's part of what I'm saying, but that's the gradual, and getting back to where we started at the beginning here, this is why things are going good. Because, yes, we're not where we want to be, but dang it, we're going towards where we want to be, and we're finally seeing positive results from the things we've been doing over this time, and we're now starting to see the fruits of that labor, and that's a good thing.
And you know what? I won't disagree with anything you just said, but I will say it like this. I want to be right where we're at. I just don't want to stay here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that we're making the progress, and I don't want for 1 minute somebody to think that what they've done has not been appreciated, because it's huge.
Absolutely.
It's
Everything.
huge.
It's all and we look at the board. We got a few new faces now from a year ago here. These people, have really done an amazing job of navigating us through this.
They have,
and doing this kind of thing, and you're included in that. You answer to them, but at the end of the day, they listen a lot what you tell them, and so that group has done so much to be. We're in the position we're in today a lot better than we were 3 years ago, and I put it on their shoulders.
Well, speaking of that, we did have our last formal board meeting for Board President Hope Morales. She decided not to run again, and so her tenure comes.
She has a very full plate of things.
She does, and your comment about navigating through COVID. I mean, those 5 individuals carried that load, and they carried a lot of criticism. And a lot of controversy that was going on in the world in school boards at that time, and you saw a couple school boards getting a lot of. And our folks, they led and did their thing. Well, and your comment about the coat that doesn't fit, some of them were forced to wear things that were out of their control, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank her for her time and her service. That is a thankless job.
Absolutely.
Whew.
Yeah, you're. I think you have to have a bit of a masochistic mindset to want to do that job.
Maybe we could talk about the McRibs again.
But my point is, we're very, and I think that just kind of the overall here, and then we kind of just maybe talk some highlights here. The overall thing is, we are all passionate about our kids. We want education. This is where people get their boxing gloves on, because it's our kids. And you can mess with me, but you better not mess with my kid. And that's kind of the mindset we as human beings have. So it's very understandable why we all have this passion.
Oh, by far.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Despite all our emotions and all that, we've had some excellent leadership that really, is it perfect? No, but nothing's perfect. But you know what? We could be a whole lot worse given the details had we had other people calling decisions and making shots.
I'm very blessed.
And we were very blessed and lucky to do that.
I'm very blessed with the group that helps.
Yeah, and
give me my walking.
And we're in a good position to be bigger and better because of what they did during the roughest time that probably most of us have ever seen in the world of education.
Hopefully the worst.
Yes.
That we'll ever see.
Absolutely. We got a couple minutes here. Is there some highlights from the board meeting on Monday that we want to make sure we let the public know about?
You know what? I've got one before I do the board meeting that was really cool, and again, this is back to normalcy. So we had our Thanksgiving dinner, and our cafeteria staff served 11,404 meals.
That's amazing.
Over those, I think we did it in a couple days. They used right at about 3,500 pounds of turkey.
Oh, man. That's a lot of turkey.
That's a lot of turkey. And the meals, I mean, we have, give or take, 9,000 students. So you're talking another 2,000 in guests and family that came to do that. We do have roughly 590 boxes of Christmas break food packs that are going to go out. The schools have helped ID the kids. Those things will get delivered.
I had an opportunity about a month ago. We had the food service directors for Dexter and for Roswell joining us here with the Healthy Kids Chaves County. You want to talk about people that slay dragons every day? Her staff and what they do on a daily basis. And oh, by the way, in the summer when the kids have all those meal sites and everything that goes on, guess who's putting all that together?
Maybe a shade tree to set under, and it's 143, and
there you know, I feel like, you know, how at Christmas you always, kind of, help out your mailman and those people that do those unsung things. The food staff, you might want to. Yeah, they're equally. They've been making literally been making lemonade for students and everything. Every single one of those cafeterias and food staff people deserve capes. They're superheroes.
They're phenomenal.
Yep.
But I wanted to highlight that. So board meeting highlights, we have 4 schools, Del Norte, El Capitan, Military Heights, and Valley View Elementary that were awarded Spotlight schools. They're in the top 25% of schools in the state as far as their scoring on their testing.
Nice.
We had 2 leadership awards that went to 2 of our board members, Mr. Cheney and Mrs. Sanchez.
Awesome.
Received some New Mexico School Board Association leadership awards. Again, we honored Board President Morales as on her outgoing last board meeting.
So has she kind of said what she wants to do next here? She kind of shared her wishes?
No, I think right now the plan is for her to kind of, just continue to
because I know she's not just going to ride off into the sunset. She's got about 20 things going on.
No, she's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah.
And I think right now it's more of an evaluate, like
gotcha.
Where would she like to spend her time, that kind of a deal. So
she's a very huge asset to us.
She is.
And I'm going to guess, just as me just taking a stab, she stepped down from school board because she's decided that she can help us better in a different position. And that's why she's doing it. Because I just know her. I went to Leadership Roswell with her. I kind of know how, I know her. I'm not saying I'm close with her, but I know her pretty good. And she has a servant's heart to the core.
Yeah.
And that's what she does.
I don't think her work is done.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Had a really neat school safety and security update by our liaison for that, Mr. LJ Harrell. Came in and talked to the board a little bit about all the things that we've done. We've finally secured funding for an AI grant for gun detection.
Okay.
So our 4 middle schools, our 2 high schools will receive a system that runs in the background of all of our security cameras. It's always looking for firearms.
So it basically it provides safety without creating bottlenecks.
It does, and it's a really neat program. Don't want to get in a lot to the weeds on it for multiple reasons, but we're really excited about that. Talked a little bit about the number of I don't want to say incidents, but our Navigate system, which is our security system. We had roughly between 25 and 30 incidents where we were called different things, shelter in place, people running around the neighborhood being crazy. RPD activity in the neighborhood and different things like that.
It happens from time to time.
Just about every day. We've got things that go on,
but they always err on the side of caution.
We will.
So they'll lock down schools and things, even though it seems like, because you're like, well, they're blocks away. That seems ridiculous. No, we'd rather seem ridiculous and nothing happen than not seem ridiculous and something happens. So they will always err on the side of caution, even if you're like, well, the school's no threat, don't matter. We don't want even a remote chance it to being one.
It's interesting you say that. We had an incident, and I won't name the school or the part of town, but we had something about 2 weeks ago, and RPD was heavily involved in a situation. Get to the school's shelter in place is what it's called. So the kids are in the classroom, the doors are shut, they're locked, they're secured, and they're working, they're teaching. They're not barricaded. They're not, they don't.
They just lock the doors and go about their day.
They just lock the doors and make sure that they go about their days. And I made a comment to one of the police officers. I said, it's interesting. I said, here we are. I said, the 2 of us are guarding this back door, looking, just watching and monitoring what's going on. I said, and 2 blocks away is a business, and they're just businessing away. And his comment, he says, you know what? He says, and that's for them to do. He says, for us right now, he says, my job is this school. And I said, I appreciate that.
Yep.
So. Super excited, kind of a culture of, and it sounds kind of corny to say that, but it's a safety culture, and that has really picked up speed as far as our teachers go.
Well, we all know that this is an ongoing threat, and all of us want to make sure our kids are safe, and so I think all of us are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that those kids go to school in the morning and come home as safe as they went to it. Yeah.
You mentioned snow days, so real quick.
Yes.
So. What came from state legislature last year is, again, back to learning loss. If you lose a day, you gain a day. So what Albuquerque did, and they've kind of led the state with this, we have picked up on that model, which is, should we have to stop in-person learning because of snow, we will have a virtual day or a remote learning day. So our principals have been instructed, we're working with the teachers right now, that they will have something for the kids to do that where they would continue their daily learning there at the house.
Will they take like Google Books, Chromebooks or whatever home with them at the end of the day?
I tell you what, I don't envision the Chromebooks going home just simply because sometimes they don't come back. And even
there are valuable assets that
even on a nightly basis, I think with the older kids, they will utilize Canvas, which is an online tool.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
For the kids to log on and get an assignment. And
it's kind of like an inner working system for students, teacher liaison.
Have a little bit of leeway as far as the assignment coming back. I think more of our elementary schools will use more of like a paper, I don't want to say a paper packet, but for lack of a better word, they've all been notified. I mean, we did this about a month and a half ago.
So we got it. We got the folder with the packet of the homework, and you do it and bring it back for Monday.
And we've talked about, hey, plan for a day or two. Usually we wouldn't be able to, Goliath, we would have probably been multiple days.
That would have been a tricky one to pull off.
I've never been more glad that happened over Christmas in my life.
Oh yeah. That was our bit, silver lining there a little bit here.
But no, they understand that. And again, the flip to that is if we had to cancel and call it a day and didn't have some type of a backup plan, then we would have to make that day up.
That day would have to be.
Of
course, I always thought that was the case anyway. I thought like you got like 4 days or something, but if you use them, then you got to make them up. Or something like that.
back in the days, they were using hours, so we had to get 1080 hours, and we always were above 1080 hours.
Gotcha.
So if we had a snow day, we still came in under our over our requirements for the hours. With this one though, it is we're 188 days period. And so that's how that comes out. So again, my intent is I don't envision a student on a snow day sitting there slaving over pounds and pounds of work.
Now, how does this I'm getting a little in the weeds, but how does it work for like a early release or a late? I mean, late as long as you go to school, they're there. It counts as a school day. If they came in and had to leave at noon because of weather, then no big. Then it still counts as a
still good. And that again, every effort's going to be made to have the school day, just because I know the strain that puts on the community and parents and employers and different things. And then undoubtedly you call the school day off, and then 35 minutes after that, the sun comes out.
Revolves around our kids.
The sun comes out, and here we go. And everybody says, well, they didn't even need to do that.
That's just New Mexico.
I know.
But the moment we think that's going to happen, it won't. And that's why
I can very vividly remember the day sitting there in the lobby at Goddard as the parents are coming in, dropping the snow off of them at 10 o'clock going, what are y'all, stupid? And it's like, guys, they're here. They're already here. Let them.
We're done now. The hard part's over.
Well, and so
you want to traipse back through it to get home and do it all over again?
And they did. And sometimes we've had a couple of those. I've done this a long time, and I can remember maybe two that it started snowing mid-morning, hit lunchtime, and you're just like, okay, it's time to hit eject here. Let's go.
But that's so not us normally. So
not normally.
When it does happen, it does. But again, it's New Mexico. So I mean, who would have predicted Goliath? I mean, in all fairness, I would have never. The most snow I've ever seen in my life, and I lived in Maryland, was when I was in New Mexico. How dumb is that?
I laugh. I remember going to the store and going, you know what? Let's just for the heck of it buy a couple extra things. And somebody said, well, it's not like we're going to have a this or that. And it's like, well, but if we do. And then sure enough, we did. And, but again, thank you to the town as far as being patient, working with that. Thank you to the parent, the businesses, those people that have the radios on right now. If you employ people that have school-age kids, thank you.
Yeah.
It is much appreciated. It's very nice knowing that I live and work in a place where people support the district and their workers and the kids.
Absolutely. Because without that support, none of it works. None of it works the way it does. And so we all have to do our part. Parents have to do their part. Teachers have to do their part. Society, the public, has to do its part. Because at the end of the day, we're preparing the next generation to do what we're doing right now. The kids that we're working with, these are going to be your next mayors, your city councilors, your business owners, your superintendents, your dumb DJs. They're going to be all.
Why did you point at that office when you said that?
I was thumbing me, not Sean. But so that's that we're investing in that. So.
Yeah.
Because at that point, we all want to sit on our lawn and just watch the sunset and complain about stupid things like, why is my toast cold?
There you go.
And let you all handle the business, bro. Did we get everything?
I think so. I think
Awesome.
so. Christmas break, 22nd. We'll cut out Friday.
Yep.
And in service back on January the 8th, and then we're up and running.
That's
so
right. Then we'll get ready, and we'll be talking graduation before we know it.
Yes. Next board meeting will be January the 16th.
Okay.
We did not feel like it would be prudent to have a board meeting
During the holiday break?
Well, we won't have anybody on site to one, to
Get it
put
ready.
to put it together, and two, there really wouldn't be anything to discuss.
Yeah,
So we'll have it on January the 16th.
That's something people don't realize is the school board just does, there's a bunch of workers and things creating the agenda, creating the things that they talk about, putting on their radar, the things they've got to discuss. And that just doesn't show up, on a Monday night. That takes weeks of planning and putting together for that board meeting on Monday night.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to
Yes,
you
sir.
and
Merry
your
Christmas.
family. And thank you for all you do and anything we need. And maybe we'll, if we got any holiday terms don't want to pop in and talk about over the holidays here, because now we're going to be thinking about sports here a lot in a week or two here with all these holiday tournaments and everything.
Pokecorn, GHS Holiday Girls going on. I will be remiss on the dates. It's like that week before.
It's always that week between
it's the
Christmas
sandwich in.
yeah.
If you like basketball or if you just need something to do, there's basketball going 24/7.
And the Optimists do an amazing job of hosting that every year with the Pokecorn and all
longest
that.
running,
Yeah.
oldest tournament in the state.
It is. It's very prestigious. So come be a part. But we'll have it on the radio and all
Yes,
that.
sir.
But each night, get out to the Ground Zero and Coyote.
Two
Dam.
really cool presentations that they're doing those nights. So I got one that we honor an adult, and I got one that we're going to honor two kiddos. So
Nice.
Really neat
Good,
presentations.
yeah. It's a lot of fun. You guys will enjoy it. Come
Yes,
out.
sir.
It's good. Some of the best basketball around because you get great competition. Like I said, it's a prestigious tournament, so we get some prestigious schools that like to come and be a part of it. So it's a good thing. So thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, it is 8:58. Let's take a quick break before news. Don't go away.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
Listen, fellas, I'm about to give you the skinny. Are you tired of not having anything fun to do to celebrate the new year with your gal? Well, here's the scoop. Friday, December 29th, the Liberty is hosting an evening of dinner and a show called Radio Razzle Dazzle. The show is set on New Year's Eve 1940 in a radio studio where you get to watch a live radio play being performed. However, the scripts are missing and the cast and crew have passed out or eloped and the sound effects machine is broken. So you'll get to watch and see if the remaining cast can pull off the radio event of the year. I hear it's a real gasser. This will make a perfect holiday date night for you and your gal. So ring in the new year in style by joining us at the Liberty Friday, December 29th for Radio Razzle Dazzle. Check out thelibertyinc.com for tickets. Brought to you by MW Entertainment and 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
Have agreed to wade into a dispute over a commonly used abortion drug.
It's the court's first abortion case since it overturned Roe versus Wade last year. The justices say they'll hear appeals from the Biden administration and the New York-based maker of the drug mifepristone. They're asking the court to reverse an appellate ruling that would cut off access to the drug through the mail and impose other restrictions, even in states where abortion remains legal.
Correspondent Jeremy House says the Supreme Court will also review the filing of obstruction charges against hundreds of U.S. Capitol riot defendants, including former President Trump. The justices will take up an appellate court ruling that revised the charge against 3 defendants accused of obstructing an official proceeding. As it pursues its drive to crush Hamas, Israel faces growing pressure to agree to another humanitarian ceasefire. The UN General Assembly is demanding a truce. It has passed a non-binding resolution to that effect, and that, says Israel's UN ambassador, is unacceptable to the Jewish state. As the fighting in Gaza rages, Israeli media reports an ambush has left at least 7 Israeli soldiers dead. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 15 points, the Nasdaq ahead 45 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? Call Low Cost Airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A U.S. official says a couple of missiles fired from territory held by Yemen's Houthi rebels barely missed a commercial tanker.
The official says an American warship shot down a suspected Houthi drone flying in its direction during the incident, but that no one was hurt in the attack. The ship that was targeted, the oil and chemical tanker Marshall Islands flag Ardmore Encounter, was travelling north toward the Suez Canal in the Red Sea. The Houthis have not immediately acknowledged the attack. The assault further internationalises a campaign that potentially imperils cargo and energy shipments coming through the canal and further widens the international impact of the Israel-Hamas war raging in the Gaza Strip. I'm Charles de la Tesma.
A powerful bomb blast in Greece has damaged a commercial apartment block housing stores and businesses southwest of Athens. Police confirm the nighttime explosion was caused by a bomb. There were no injuries, but the blast caused extensive damage. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A Russian man who took a flight from Denmark to L.A. without a passport or a ticket told authorities he can't remember how he got through security.
Sergei Vladimirovich Ochigava arrived at Los Angeles International Airport on November 4th via Scandinavian Airlines Flight 931 from Copenhagen and couldn't produce a passport. Officials say a U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer could not find Ochigava on a flight manifest or any other incoming international flights. He's pleaded not guilty to a charge of being a stowaway on an aircraft. Keith Peters reporting.
Tesla recalling more than 2 million vehicles across its model lineup to fix a defective system. It's supposed to ensure that drivers are paying attention when they use autopilot. The recall comes after a 2-year investigation by federal auto safety regulators into a series of crashes. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome
to hour number 3.
Crazy Journals
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see that sun today.
Do not think so. You might not see it for a couple days.
It was mighty dark coming in this morning.
Yeah.
Like extra dark.
Make me happy.
It did.
I like it.
Mhm.
This is nice.
You're like we were sealed in, you know? Hermetically sealed.
Although, it gives me a sense of laziness.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You don't want to get out and, like, you know, do stuff when it's dreary out.
Yeah. Like, I just want to sit down in front of a fire and read a book.
That's why stuff never gets done in England.
That's right. You know, that is funny. Like, I watched that Wrexham show.
Uh-huh.
And they're in Wales.
Right.
But even when it was sunny, it seemed like it was raining. It just, like, I was watching, because they show highlights from each of the matches.
Well, it's always gray.
And it was like, is it raining? But it even looked like a normal day. But then when they show close-ups, I'm like, it looked like it's still raining. Like, it's just rain all the time.
It's just constantly downpours.
Yeah.
Do you think that they look at sunny days over there like we look at rainy days?
Oh,
like,
I'm sure they do.
I just don't want to do anything, mate. I just, it's too sunny out. Just wants to go home and have some soup.
No, I think they sit out. They do nothing, but they sit out.
They bask in it. Roy, call your sister. This is the one day a year she can tan. I didn't mean you, Roy. It was the first name that popped into my head. I don't know why.
We did turn your head
I
towards
did
Roy.
look at Roy when I said it. He's all texting Jocelyn. Sean says it's okay for you to tan today. What? No, that's not what I meant at all.
Well, it's not today. It'll be the one day you don't want.
I think I was just going to go, oi, but it came out Roy. Well, it makes fools of us all.
Yes.
You ever have that realization in the middle of the thing you're doing? You're like, oh, I'm going to need to fix this after I get done.
Oh, I do it all
doing
the time.
The thing.
I start to talk. I'm like, I had a point. I need to stop.
I'm not going to. Well, that's where you and I differ. I'm not going to stop the impression. I'm just going to explain myself after the fact. It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission, so to speak.
It is. Although in this world, I don't know.
It's true.
No, they're ready to murder you for doing anything nowadays. So, but happy Wednesday nonetheless. Hopefully your day is going amazingly well, whether it's raining or shining. Hope it's going well for you. I'm happy because it's raining.
Speaking of, this is a fun fact. The head for Dave Letterman's band back in the day when he was on Late Night, Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
Before he became the band leader for David Letterman, he was a songwriter, and he's responsible for writing the oh-so-catchy song that made the Weathermen, or the Weather Girls, famous. It's raining, man!
He wrote that?
Yep,
I knew he
wrote
wrote songs. I didn't know which songs.
It's just, but now you're picturing Paul Schaefer singing about raining men. It's just, that kind of fits.
It was raining dollars for him. I bet he like that was. You know, I knew Paul wrote some stuff, and I knew he was well established long before he was Letterman's band director. But I did not realize that was one of his.
That song was so big for a time and so like popular and sing-alongable that even dudes were singing it. But like straight dudes were singing it, but they didn't want to like come off as like fey, so they had to change it up. They were like, "It's raining stuff, hallelujah! It's raining things, and it's all wet out here."
Oh man, yeah. But never mind. I was going to say something else, but never mind. Again, don't say some things that might make people angry. But
you know what that is?
It was a joke.
You know what that is? That's growth.
You
that
know,
right there? That's growth.
I grew a little. I grew a little.
Mike just grew 10 times, 10 sizes that
now
day.
I'm 5'8" and a quarter. No. Hey, we haven't talked about food yet this hour. We need to talk about food in some way.
I mean, I got just so we can just for the
what because we
fill out the bingo card.
Yeah, exactly. We did it each hour. Why change now?
Okay, I got one, and this is going to be this is a certain segment of your audience will understand what I'm talking about.
All right.
Do you remember Viennetta?
That name rings a bell, but I don't know from what.
So when I was a kid, and this is something that I've never got to experience, never once, because the price of it all and the fanciness of it. When I was a kid, there was a commercial on TV, and it was this real fancy dinner, like people with like white gloves serving silver platters. And they bring out this platter with this long, what looks like a lasagna.
Okay.
But it's chocolate and like wafers.
Okay.
And like whipped cream and stuff. And they set it down in the front of the people. Introducing Viennetta. And it's like ice cream cake, but it was like layers of like ice cream and like
kind of
wafer.
loosely remember those commercials.
It's back.
Is it?
Good humor brought it back.
Did you ever eat one?
No, never in my life have I had a Viennetta. And I'm so excited that it's a thing again because I get to try it.
Think it's the same one?
I hope. See, that's why I think they take stuff away from us. They take stuff away to mess with the formula and then bring it back sort of similar to what it was.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell the difference. Like, there's no way you have some Crystal Pepsi laying around and could compare the original run to the redo a couple years ago.
But I guarantee things like Oreos taste different now than they did.
Oh,
when
100%.
we were kids, you know.
If you ever get a chance to go and watch that story, like the Hydrox and Oreo story.
Yeah, I did see that.
Hydrox started first.
They did, yeah.
And they just didn't take off. And they named their product Hydrox because at the time everything was about purity and white and like, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah, it was a hot button word at that time. Yeah,
it was all about that purity thing. But Oreo came along, had a catchier name, and they took off with it.
Yeah.
They also used to back in the day have beef tallow in the cream. That's since been booted to the curb. And I think in the late 80s or early 90s.
Was that the kosher part?
Yeah, since then they've officially become kosher.
Was that when they took the tallow out?
They took it out a little bit before then.
Okay.
But some of the ingredients in the cream they were using weren't kosher, and so they actually went that extra step, and now
I
it's...
thought maybe the tallow was the reason it was not kosher. I have no idea. I don't know all the rules there. So.
Well, the tallow was... I think they took that out a long time ago as a cost-cutting measure.
Yeah, because I imagine it probably was more delicious.
God, everything was tastier in the 80s. All those trans fats, all that beef tallow just getting used to fry everything.
Well, at least it was real. Well, some of it's real food back in the day. Now it's not even.
There is one location where you can go still to this day and get the fried pie from McDonald's.
Yeah?
Yep. It is at I want to say it's the world's largest McDonald's.
It's at the Arby's in.
Well, it's... Fair enough. It's I think it's in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
It's like the world's largest McDonald's, and they have like all the stuff that all like the side menu items, like that you can still get McPizza there.
Well, see, they need a gimmick. Because quite frankly, who's going to Orlando for vacation mostly to eat a McDonald's?
I mean,
honestly, the locals.
I'll do it.
I'm in Orlando, man. I want to eat everything else, but.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
But it could be one of your stops.
Yeah.
If I go to
that's the gimmick to get you in. It's like, oh, good, we still got fried pies. Okay, now there's a reason to go. Or you still got McPizza, which you're the only place on the planet that'll have it. So that's a reason to draw you in.
If I'm going to Florida,
do they have bagel sandwiches?
I think they do.
They better, because I'll shut that place down if
I'm
they don't.
pretty sure.
If you're having fried pies and this stuff and not have a bagel sandwich, we're going to tussle.
I feel like maybe we're one of the only parts of the country that don't have the bagel sandwich, because I hear him talking about it online all the time.
Well, then that's just me making somebody mad. What karma did I mess up that I put in one place ain't got bagel sandwiches?
We're going to think about leaving some bagels in Southeast. No, hold off. I know this guy. Really sticking his craw.
That's bad karma for me.
Right?
I see that.
But if I'm going to Florida and I have my daughter with me, I will be going to a McDonald's.
Well,
whether
yeah,
I
you
want
have no
to or
choice.
not.
But most people don't. That's not it. But then again, if I'm going to eat the one fried pie or the pizza or, God forbid, a bagel sandwich, then I'm going.
Come on, Mickey D's. What are you doing? Bring back the bagel. Bring it nationwide release.
It's the way the good Lord intended it to be.
If you can teabag us with the McRib every year, doggone it, you can bring back the bagel sandwich.
Just give me the bagel. And if I get particular, just bring back the steak one. The bacon, egg, and cheese sausage, fine, but just bring back that steak one. Please and thank you.
I'm going to go get like a bag of bagels and a box of steak-em.
It's not the same.
I feel like it is.
Not, though, because I didn't make it.
Yeah, but you would put more love into it than I bet they would.
When other people make that mess for you, it's better.
Fair enough.
Plus, I don't know if I can do the egg right.
That's true.
The egg's a little different. So. We're going to replay our interview we had. We had a great interview yesterday with Dr. Sean Powell from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, and Helen Wakefield. And they've been doing their Hotspot event, Hotspot and Hot Dogs. That's what started conversation one on food in hour one. And but they got an event next week where they're going to be doing giving out. Basically, they have a grant initiative where they're providing Wi-Fi high-speed hotspots for people that need them, and it's basically giving you free internet till like January of 2025.
Right.
And so they're going to have an event where they've been distributing these things, and so they're going to be giving out more of the hotspots next week. But we had a great conversation talking about the program and talking about the event next week. So we're going to play that for you here in just a bit.
Good.
So if you want to get you some internets that are I'm telling you, and it's for not just students, it's for anyone that's in need of it. So, and so even if you're already paying like $100 for internet right now, you can probably get it for free for anything, and you can put that $100 towards groceries or whatever, whatever other needs you have in your life.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good deal.
Definitely.
9:17. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Spoiler alert, it's raining.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got rain coming up today with a fairly strong low-pressure system headed through the area. About 50 on the afternoon high, and rain will be likely through the day. Rain tapers off to showers overnight with our low dropping into the mid-40s, and then we get another round of showers and a few thunderstorms coming up on Thursday. High will be in the low 50s. We're back to sunny weather on Friday with low 50s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 89% with winds out of the west at 7 miles per hour. For the rest of today, breezy and rain with highs in the lower 50s. Winds will be out of the east, 15 to 25 miles per hour. They're saying, and just saying it's pretty much 100% chance of rain today. Tonight, windy, lows in the low 40s. Southeast winds 20 to 30 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour this evening as well. 100% chance of rain for tonight, too. For you Thursday, windy and rain. Highs in the upper 40s. Southeast winds 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour once again. We're also looking at a 100% chance of rain. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, increasingly becoming less cloudy. Could see a 50% chance of showers. Could see a little bit of snow mixed in with that. Some patchy fog after midnight. Lows will be in the lower 30s for Thursday night. Friday, partly cloudy in the morning, becoming sunny as the day progresses. Highs expected to be in the low 50s. For Saturday, we're looking at clear skies and sunny with highs in the mid-50s. Sunday, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 50s. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Dr. Powell and Helen Wakefield from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Don't go away.
The crisp air is reminding us that time is going by so quickly. It's already a new season. Isn't it time that you've thought about putting yourself first? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. Don't wait another minute. Come in and learn how you can replace that broken tooth with a dental implant. Now you too can have the confidence to smile ear to ear.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, Dr. Powell, back with us from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Also joining us this morning, Helen Wakefield as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well, and you?
Very good. Now, you are a grant writer, and you're I forget the official title. The word's diversity in it, but I'm going to botch it, so I'm just going to let you say your title.
So let me do a little bit of introduction.
Yeah, there you go. Dr. Powell can do the introduction.
Yeah. So Helen Wakefield is with us. She's the grant director for our Connecting Minority Communities grants, and she has offered free hotspots and Wi-Fi. The purpose of this federal grant is to increase broadband and Wi-Fi access in Chavez County.
Yeah, this is a great thing that's going on that you guys have partnered with here, and obviously we live in a rural part of the country. We, granted, we're a bustling little town here and all that, but let's face it, we serve a rural community here, and things like infrastructure and internet and things like that are vital to really to do things in the world today. And we live in an area where high-speed internet is not always easily available. So This is an initiative that you guys have partnered with to really provide high-speed internet access to anybody that needs it, really.
Right. And just a little bit of background. So Helen came to us originally from Chicago. She's an attorney by training, and so holds a Juris Doctorate, and she has been doing tremendous work out in the communities. We've held hot dog and hotspot type of events. That was her invention, and we've done them in Dexter and Lake Arthur.
Well,
and
a lady from Chicago better come correct with hot dogs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I don't even eat hot dogs.
Right, she's like, I don't like the thing, but I know a lot of people.
Well, I used to, but as you get older, you have to change up. But I did get the IT department to test them, so
good deal. Well, if you can get an approval from them, then we're good to go.
You're fine.
Here. But there is an event here that we want to invite people to come out to, especially if you are in the need of picking up one of these hotspots to get internet for your home and and this is available to anyone too, not just college students. Anyone that is in need of high-speed internet in the region here. You might want to put this date on your calendar and do all that. So tell a little bit about the event you have planned.
All right. So the grant as a whole is to increase broadband internet throughout Chavez County, throughout the United States, but particularly for us, Chavez County. And the university actually wrote the grant that had 3 prongs.
Okay.
The first prong was awareness and access. And so we surveyed the community, Chavez County, our targeted population, students, community members, and small businesses.
Okay.
And we wanted to find out what was their level of computer literacy, as well as their access to computer equipment.
Okay.
So after we did the survey, the next prong was to provide education and training. By way of education and training, we were providing computer literacy courses to the community based upon the survey, what they need, as well as equipment. And then also we rolled out an extended hours hotline, technical hotline, and we have 5 new techs on board. The last prong was actually support and equipment.
Okay.
That's actually the support with the
nuts
hotline
and bolts, the soup and everything to it.
Rolling out the equipment. So that's when we came up with the hotspots and hot dogs, because me running up and down the steps handing out one. It wasn't getting it out there.
Sure.
I mean, I don't mind the step thing, but I needed to move it faster.
You got a lot of units to get out there and little time to do it. So.
Well, actually, the grant held that we were supposed to deploy 114 in a 2-year period of time.
Okay.
We did that in a month and a half.
Nice.
So we were able to partner with Khajiit and purchase another 240.
Great.
Those are gone.
So demand is that heavy
Demand
right now.
is there.
Good.
And the other part that's really great about our hotspots, because hotspots are actually deployed through some of the schools, is that we actually have the service that's connected. And it's Verizon service. We provide the internet Wi-Fi service for the particular hotspot until January 31st, 2025.
Okay, so they get basically free internet for a little over a year here.
Well, the ones that started early had about a year and a half.
Yeah, good deal.
On December the 20th, which is Wednesday of next week, from 4:30 to 6:30 at the ITC room 145, the Commons area, that particular space is going to be changed into a training. Now we have a DJ. Food.
So a
little bit of everything.
Little head nod while you're training.
You know, we want to celebrate.
Absolutely.
We want to celebrate the community.
You want to make it a fun event as much as an educational event. Yeah.
And the thing about it is that the part where the 380 hotspots we have to give out, right? But one of the other things that I really wanted to celebrate was the community at large, because without them actually saying, you know what, okay, I'll listen to you, I'll hear what you say, we wouldn't be here. And one of the things that I'm really happy and I'm so proud of is that we actually graduated, if you want to say graduated, 57 community participants. Tonight is the last night where all of the participants, and they already know now, Dr. Powell, that they get the laptops. Because Saturday...
So that cat's out the bag.
Right. So I did my Oprah, you get a laptop, you get a laptop, you get a laptop. And our Spanish class, Spanish-speaking class, all Spanish-speaking at West last night found out over Zoom.
That's awesome. So now they're getting the tools to whatever the next step in their journey is. They've got the equipment to do what they want to do.
And we'll continue classes next year.
Yeah, and that's so... and the good news is that there's still opportunities for more people to take advantage of some of this stuff and get get access to it. That's the whole point of this grant and this initiative is to bring some of that and to bring opportunities for folks that maybe not normally wouldn't have that opportunity. You know, just even to attend as a student at the school. You know, it's almost vital that you have some kind of internet access. Even if you're taking classes in person, there's still online communications, if you want to contact your professor off hours or submitting your term papers and things like that, even though you have a physically in-person class, a lot of that's still done online through internet or type, you know what I mean? So that all that stuff's needed, even if they're taking classes, the old-fashioned way, like in person and all that stuff.
Sure. One of the things that Helen did say, and she mentioned West, and so we have community partners on this grant. The
West
Hispano,
is a great organization here in our community.
Yeah, West is one of our partners, and the Hispano Chamber has partnered with us as well. So, we have a year, about 13, we were talking about this just yesterday, we have about 13 months left in this grant, and we want to continue to provide instruction and basic computer skills and to hand out more computers over this next 13 months.
So please, take advantage of this. If this is something your family could definitely use to get a leg up on education or life in general. That's just it. This is about quality of life. It's not even all about it is about education, but it's a quality of life issue as much as it is an extension of education or providing more opportunities here. So it's because let's face it. I mean, you cannot live in this world without internet anymore. It's just whether you want to, watch TV or solve the world's problems. You can't have the internet to do that anymore. It seems like
right.
It's important,
and it's expensive. There was a gentleman that I tell the story, but it actually happened. There was a gentleman that came running toward me, and I didn't understand why he was running toward me. And he was,
do I need to hold on?
I did do that. I actually did that. I assumed a position.
All right, let's get
I did. I got prepared. And He actually had received one of the hotspots.
Oh, cool.
And he wanted to let me know that all he wanted to do was watch YouTube and to watch rodeo, to see rodeo. And he was paying $130 a month. And so he was able
Hope he really likes rodeo.
He did. He did. And he really
$130 a
liked,
month.
that's all he was trying to do is just on YouTube watch rodeo. So now.
Well, here's the thing. The foot in the door is the rodeo. But what's next for that guy? Next thing you know, you know what I mean? And that's what's great about this. It really provides whatever level people are trying to go to. It helps them get to that next level.
And then being a senior, he was a senior person as myself.
Sure.
He was able to save or either use or divert $130 a month. And he was in on the first month when we deployed them. So that was in June.
And I
So he
imagine
saved
that
us some money.
$130 can now
Yes.
go towards medicine or whatever other
Correct.
expenses that gentleman has to take care of. And that's what this is about. Because I imagine you've also got that scenario where people are making sacrifices to have internet, and we shouldn't have to do that. So let's all right, we'll take care of the internet. You can focus on those other expenses that your family incurs and needs to survive. So that's what this is. It's really it's a chance to alleviate some of that expenses for some folks and provide them a platform to get whatever they're going with on this. And certainly, as students, this is a great thing. If you live out in the middle of nowhere, which a lot of people do around here, and internet, even if you had it, but it's just not accessible, these hotspots might be the difference to say, okay, now I can actually get a signal at my house and do something here that before it was like, hold on, let me stand on the roof with an antenna, or you know what I mean?
That's true.
There's so much ways that helps. And another thing, you were talking about the different prongs and how this grant was written, and I'm guessing depending on the populace, each prong is like I'm gonna guess that whole access to knowledge and skill set, that's probably a little heavier on the senior side, where they didn't grow up in a world where computers were part of their life the whole time. So there's a bigger learning curve there, where someone that's younger, that was brought into this world around it, they're a little bit more just knowledgeable because, they've experienced more life. Their whole life revolved around it in some way, shape, or form.
Well, out of the 57 students, we have such an array. It's so eclectic. It's we have seniors, we have a little bit young. Everybody is over 18 because that's the grant.
Right? Yeah.
But to see the seniors, because the thought was that a lot of the seniors would not be as knowledgeable with the computers but they are. They really want to know more.
Sure.
And so a lot of them, there was some things that they knew more and some things that the younger knew more. And to see the generations merge, that was exciting.
Sure.
People of different beliefs,
Absolutely.
that are there.
Yeah.
And, we've merged with that. So it's been beautiful.
It's kind of, I'm going to guess too, because you're talking about like that broad base there. And, now that I'm thinking, I'm going to guess like some older folks that maybe that was their day job was computers and things like that. So they probably understand some of the concepts that maybe younger folks, because they didn't go through DOS or, you know what I mean? They didn't go through some of the evolution of the computer science. You jump in with an iPhone all of a sudden, and you know what I mean? And so, so I'm guessing there's some older folks that are like, well, that's how they used to do it this way. And now we do it this way. And so they can relate to the process, even though the process is different than when they were doing it.
We had some IBMers.
Yeah.
That were there. Yeah. And one of the other things is that some of the people, we did a history kind of computer. And when some of them saw the, like the original, they were like, how did wasn't that heavy?
This is a Commodore 64 right here. Look at this bad boy.
Yes, it was heavy. So.
And if you do about 10 minutes of typing, you can play a little game that takes about 5 minutes when you're done with this.
It was quite fun.
Sure. Well, I imagine too, but to me that's fun too when you expose younger people to older technology and they're never experienced it for the first. That's a fun little trip down memory lane too for some folks. But this sounds like it really is a great opportunity for everybody. If you are in need, and again, you do not have to be a student. You don't. This is not based on whether you're a student at ENMU or not. This is for the public that needs internet access and things like that.
And one more thing, if you don't mind, we are also hiring instructors.
Okay.
So that's another prong. So while we're providing information, we also are providing an economic.
Okay. Is there certain departments that you're needing a little bit more of than others, or
no? Just
across the board.
Right now, we do have an opening for an administrative assistant.
Okay.
But also computer literacy skills instructors for the actual program.
Excellent. So all you computer folks out there looking for maybe a chance to part-time help out and educate and make a little extra money on the side, this would be a good and I know this. Don't judge me, but I just know this from my experience in life. Generally, people that are very good at computer stuff like to teach an engineer side. You guys lack in the social skills. That's just the world we live in. This might be a chance for you to meet some people and find things that have common interest. And so by teaching a class, you might meet some people. Just saying. I just know technical people are very good at what they do, but when it comes to having a conversation, they're not always the best people to do that. So maybe this might broaden your horizons a little bit there. I deal with engineers all the time, and I know every one of them are the same.
We've met some good.
Yeah, it's like I kind of know what you're talking about there, but
they're good.
Very good. But sometimes they need a little nudge on social stuff. But anyway, this is a great. Now there is an event coming up here. What's the date on that?
That's Wednesday, December 20th.
Yes.
From 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
So mark that on your calendars here. I invite you to like and follow ENMUR's Facebook page and things. That way you can get reminders when the events like this come across. And so when you're scrolling on your Facebook, it's like, oh, that's this week. I need to make sure I RSVP or attend that event there too. So, and of course, anytime you just want to know what's going on campus, that's usually a very good first resource for that kind of stuff. And certainly if you're a student, you better like and follow it, because that's usually the first place if there's weather delays and things. That's where you're going to find that out. So it's a good you should like and follow it anyway. But you can learn more about like initiatives like this or various other things that come up from time to time through the college here too. So stay abreast.
So just a couple of other things that are going on. So we have graduation Thursday.
All right. I'm sure we got some very excited students ready to walk the carpet here and don the camping gown. And I love that, because that's when the fruit of everyone's labor, and always the best part is the speech, because you guys are every single time you pick a student that generally didn't take the traditional path to get there, and to show that because it's the proof's in the pudding every time. It doesn't matter your path, your walk of life, or what you came from, or where you're going, or what you did. You can get a degree here at ENMUR if you just apply yourself and do it. And so that's my favorite part. So do we want to unveil who our speaker is? And all
no,
that?
We'll hold off till Thursday on that one.
I tried, guys.
She did an audition, I guess, if you want to call it that, or she did her presentation for several folks yesterday, and so I understand it went very well.
Good.
I wasn't there myself, but
so
she'll be there Thursday night.
We'll keep that light under the basket until Thursday night.
Right. Spring registration is still ongoing, and we'll have folks there through all of next week, and then through the holidays, we're going to have people available by phone to do advising.
Okay. So if you do online there and you hit a roadblock or something, there'll be someone that can help you navigate through that. If you
absolutely.
But just pro tip: now's the time to register for classes. Don't wait till January, because that's when everyone else does it, and it can get a little chaotic, because it's people are running around a little scrambling, trying to get their classes, trying to get their books, trying to get everything done in a short period of time. But right now, you could go in, do it. The advisors aren't even as quite busy right now, because it's the lull in the storm kind of thing. So if you need to register and then talk about scholarships and stuff like that, now's a good time to sit down with all the staff and things like that to get that done now, because they'll do it and help you and do everything they can to help you in January, but they're going to be pressed for time, and there's going to be a lot more people doing the same thing you're doing. So do it now. while the crowds aren't. And by the way, especially if you have classes that are very popular, or maybe there are a niche class that you need but only offer at certain times, those fill up quick. So the earlier you get in there, the guarantee that you'll have a better choice of to fit your schedule and that things, because obviously there's a lot of like English, 101 classes, but it may not work in your schedule. So the earlier you sign up for these, the better you can kind of massage your schedule to match your lifestyle and what you got going on.
Sure.
So just telling you, early bird gets the worm on this one. It's just it's just experience and learn. You get to do that. And by the way, if you haven't registered, it's very easy to register. You come down, you talk to the advisor, they take the placement tests and things. It's very, it's a very pain-free process to get registered for school. So don't use that as the hurdle for a reason not signing up for classes too, because it's very easy. Like you said, everybody and anybody is a student at NMUR, from 18-year-olds to 80-year-olds and everybody in between. So there's a lot of people to help you do that. And don't forget, there's a lot of resources too. Don't forget, there's on-campus resources for like veterans and food pantries. A lot of these new programs and things that have started over the last year or two here, these are all resources for you as students. So if when you do hit the walls, because all students at some point, you got, oh man, I got 12 things due, and that when those moments hit, utilize the resources of the college. That's what they're there for. And for a lot of folks, it's the difference between success and failure sometimes. Just, you get overwhelmed or overburdened and you don't take advantage of those resources. It makes it hard. So that's why they're there. Come to the campus. Come talk to to whether it's, hey, I got to pay bills. Okay, let's help you there. Or, hey, I need tutoring. Well, we can help you there too. Right. So that's what they're there for. Take advantage of all that. That's it. To me, and I know I'm rambling here, but to me, that's, this is what a college like Eastern New Mexico University Roswell provides. Where sure, you go to Harvard or whatever giant school somewhere, but you're going to get swallowed up in a class of probably a couple hundred people. You got to make an appointment to talk to your professor. If you have questions and things, there's a certain protocol to get to that, which may or may be easy for you. Guess what you got to do at Eastern? I got a question. Raise a hand. Oh, class is over. Walk down. Talk to the professor. It's shoot an email. It's more personal experience. It's much more. You're. I'm not trying to say you're a number, but with some of these schools, because that's not accurate either. It's just there's so much of you that it's hard to get the personalized attention that some people need. And at NMUR, that they're in that personal business. That's what they do to help you get through whatever you're trying to do, whether it's to get more certifications for your job, or if you are pursuing a degree, or you're a retiree and said, I'm done working, but I sure would love to take a class on ceramics, or I'd love to take a history class because I love history. That's the college. It's for just pure personal enrichment to, I'm trying to be the CEO of the next big, Fortune 500 company, whatever it is. That's what the college is there for to do.
Well, appreciate all those comments. And like I think I've mentioned before, the age range for this fall semester is 13 to 76.
There you go.
And I spoke to the student who's 13, and she's in a homeschool situation, and she's taking classes on campus in computer skills for the college academic side. And she has a plan to go into cybersecurity. So, she's just starting early.
So she could be us three get this reference, but maybe younger people won't. She could be the Doogie Howser of cybersecurity.
There you go. There you go.
Very cool. That's awesome. And don't forget, if you have high school, age students as well, early college, these are also options. This is a good time to talk to folks about that kind of stuff if you're wanting to, do that for the next year here, and because those students, when they come to graduation time, sometimes they get their college degree before their high school diploma, just by a day or two. But but it's really cool when you get some of these kids that they get their associates and their high school diploma at the same time. And it's not for everyone, because that's a lot of work. But if you have a desire to do all that, again, RSD and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell can help you navigate through all that too. So Good deal. Again, give them one more time. Give the dates and everything for the meetup here.
Project C3PO Hotspots and Holidays, next Wednesday.
1 week from tomorrow.
Correct. December 20th.
All right.
4:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. at the ITC Room 145 Commons.
And if you're
area.
not familiar with that, when you get to the campus there,
Well,
we'll be happy to do it.
We'll have some balloons out.
There you go. Look for the
You'll
balloons.
see us.
Smell the hot dogs.
No hot dogs.
No hot dogs at this
It's going to be
one. All right.
fancy food.
Oh, we're going upscale.
Yeah.
Here. So, you want to tease?
Beef Wellington.
Oh,
quiche,
nice.
Yeah. Coconut,
Oh,
shrimp.
dang.
Brownies.
We're kind of going bigger than hot dogs here.
Yeah.
We got
Bigger
Chef
than
Gordon
hot
Ramsay's Beef Wellington over here.
We have the taste testing today.
I love it. I've only had Beef Wellington once, and it was very good.
I'm just, not a lot. Just a little bit of everything.
Sure.
It's going to be a
Nice little sample.
taste for everyone.
Yeah, a little sampling and everything.
Yeah.
But you're really there to get internet and to learn more about this great
Correct.
program and do all that. But, the Beef Wellington's a bonus. I was like, man, I need to get a suit for this one.
No, just plain.
Come as you are.
Come as you are. Yes.
But please, and then of course check out the website roswell.enmu.edu. You can learn everything, including about the C3PO program we're talking about here. But if you want to register for classes, again, now's that time to do it. If you're already a student registered, you can go online right now and pick your classes and get all signed up, get your itinerary good to go, and then you're ready to go for spring here. Just got to get your books and everything you need for that. But now is the time. And then come on out for graduation. That's Thursday for graduation here.
Yes.
Obviously, if you have family and friends, you already got plans to be there. But public's welcome to come out and congratulate our graduates here.
Absolutely.
How many graduates are going to walk this?
166 will be graduating, and I think around 90 or so are going to go through the ceremonies on
Very good.
Thursday. So
Good deal. That's a lot considering it's the fall semester.
Right.
Usually the spring's the bigger one, but
yes,
and that one will usually about double the numbers. I think usually around
Absolutely.
300 or so.
Yeah.
But we love it. Congratulations to those young men and women, and hopefully they're excited.
And speaking of graduation, just one other thing, and then we'll get out of your way this morning. But Youth Challenge is graduating also, and they'll be graduating on Thursday as well.
Awesome.
So I think there's about 60 graduates from Youth Challenge that'll be going out and doing a variety of things. So we really enjoy that partnership with New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy.
I've heard they kicked butt this year. That this year's class did really well and kicked butt, and so proud of every single one of that. They kick butt every year, but I've heard that this group they did some really good things this year.
Yeah.
So we're very proud of them, especially because that's kind of like this is like the full regular class that they've had since post-COVID. I'm thinking really they took a beating during COVID.
Absolutely.
They lost a lot of their ability to do what they do, but the people that needed their services still needed their services, and so they tried very hard to deal with the cards they were dealt to help those people, despite the fact that they really couldn't do anything that they're kind of built to do. And so it's so glad to see that they're back just doing regular what they do every day. That's so great to see. So normalcy's a good thing sometimes. Is there anything, Helen? Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything that we just spaced over that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Do you want the extended hotline number just in case people have a technology issue?
Absolutely.
Our technology hotline is open from 8:30 a.m. until midnight, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And from noon until midnight on Saturday and Sunday. And the phone number is 833-806-6432.
Very good.
833-806-6432.
Very good. I imagine too, if you're driving, don't write that down. You can go to the
Right.
website and find it as well
Right.
too. There, when you get if you're driving, don't try to do that
No.
right now. Not good. Good deal, Dr. Powell. Is there anything we missed? We wanted to cover.
I don't think so. Just happy holidays, and we'll plan to see you in
happy
January.
holidays. Yeah, it's the last time I could probably see you on the radio here before then. So happy holidays. Welcome to the show here. Welcome. She's been here about a year now, but welcome to Roswell. I got to ask, how's your chili? Are you indoctrinated yet? Or how are you, like green chili, red chili? Are you
Green,
all right.
and the hotter the better.
All right. See, I knew I liked her. She likes the. Okay. People that embrace the green chili right away, they fit right in. Just... Yeah. Now, do you put it on everything now? Burgers, eggs, everything?
I don't do burgers.
Okay.
Remember, no burgers.
Oh, that's right. You eat healthy. I forgot.
Well, I don't put it on the sweets, but I did have some Hatch jelly, though.
Yeah, sweet is not necessarily bad. A sweet and heat, it is pretty good. Like, weirdly enough, I've seen people put green chili in ice cream, and it wasn't awful. I wouldn't think I want it every day, but it wasn't awful. But yeah, there's some jellies out there there's one that somebody makes, and it's like a green chili, and what you do is you get cream cheese and a cracker, and you put the cream cheese on the cracker and put some of that sweet jelly on there.
We'll serve that next Wednesday. No, just kidding.
You should. It might beat the beef Wellington. Just saying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all next time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And we'll see you, if I don't see you before then, in 2024.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Be well.
All right. You too.
The size of your previous mistakes? Relax and call Big Lou at Term Provider. Big Lou says if you're in your 50s, even a bit porky, a $1 million term life policy should only cost about $200 to $300 per month. Call Big Lou at 800-529-2856. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He likes trophies, too. For affordable life insurance, call 800-529-2856.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We've got rain coming up today with a fairly strong low-pressure system headed through the area. About 50 on the afternoon high, and rain will be likely through the day. Rain tapers off to showers overnight with our low dropping into the mid-40s, and then we get another round of showers and a few thunderstorms coming up on Thursday. High will be in the low 50s. We're back to sunny weather on Friday with low 50s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The Federal Reserve today announces its latest decision on interest rates. The Fed is expected to leave its key rate right where it's at. The Fed's decision comes as the government reports the rate of inflation ticked up slightly from October to November. Meanwhile, wholesale inflation was unchanged in November, suggesting that price increases in the economy's pipeline are continuing to gradually ease. The Labor Department says its producer price index for November was flat from the month before. Tesla is recalling more than 2 million vehicles across its model lineup to fix a defective system that's supposed to ensure drivers are paying attention when they use autopilot. The recall comes after a 2-year investigation by federal auto safety regulators into a series of crashes that happened while the autopilot partially automated driving system was in use. Some of the crashes were deadly. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Christmas in New Mexico means tamales, and the best tamales in the world come from right here. El Charro tamales are handmade the same way they have been made for 75 years, in red with pork or green with cheese. Tamales from El Charro are the perfect gift for the ones you love to bring the flavors of home into your holiday. Order yours today by calling 575-622-8590 or stop by 1711 South Virginia in Roswell, behind the old Kmart. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from El Charro, celebrating 75 years of flavor from the Trujillo family to yours.
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
This time of year, we all become kids again, especially when we start thinking about Christmases past, how they smelled, how they looked, and how they felt. We get a little weepy remembering those uncles and aunts and parents and grandparents who made Christmas time so special and gave us the traditions we passed down to our own kids. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Shirley and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, that mess in the living room on Christmas morning is the most glorious mess in the world. Don't be too quick to clean it up.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. In its first abortion case since it overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022, the Supreme Court agreed to take up a dispute over a medication used in the most common method of abortion in the United States.
The justices will hear appeals from the Biden administration and the maker of the drug mifepristone. They're asking the High Court to reverse an appellate ruling that would cut off access to the drug through the mail and impose other restrictions. The case will be argued in the spring, with a decision likely by late June, in the middle of the 2024 presidential and congressional campaign.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The 9 justices rejected a separate appeal from pro-life groups who challenged the Food and Drug Administration's initial approval of mifepristone as safe and effective in 2000. And the Supreme Court says it will hear appeals that could upend hundreds of charges stemming from the Capitol attack, including against ex-President Donald Trump. The justices have agreed to review an appellate ruling that revived a charge against 3 defendants from Texas, Pennsylvania, and New York accused of obstruction of an official proceeding. Also at townhall.com, when its latest policy meeting ends today, the Fed expected to provide some highly anticipated hints about the extent of rate cuts next year. Mark Hamrick with Bankrate.com says the Fed's strategy of hiking interest rates seems to have worked so far.
I think the Federal Reserve should be feeling increasingly good about where the economy is at the moment. Unemployment recently edged down to 3.7%, and the trends on inflation are positive in the sense of they're coming down from the peak.
The economic analyst Mark Hamrick. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 2 points. The NASDAQ adding 10 points. More at townhall.com.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, and evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898, and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
New Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has laid out his program for government.
As befits such a state event, there were smiles and much applause at the swearing-in ceremony. But the words spoken signalled troubled times ahead for Polish politics. President Duda said he would not block legislation that served the country's interests. But he added that Poland must remain a sovereign and independent state in Europe. Mr. Tusk thanked the president for his promise to cooperate, but in what could be seen as a veiled criticism of Mr. Duda, who has been accused of violating the Polish constitution, Mr. Tusk said his government would respect the country's laws.
BBC correspondent Adam Easton. After nearly 200 years in a private collection, a pair of small portraits by 17th century Dutch master Rembrandt are now on display in the Netherlands. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A final goodbye today for a North Dakota sheriff's deputy killed in a crash involving a U.S. senator's son.
Deputy Paul Martin was 53 years old and leaves behind a wife, 3 children, and 4 grandchildren. His loss has shaken the community where even people he arrested praised him. Bismarck Police and Senator Kevin Kramer said his adult son, Ian, was having a mental health issue when he fled the hospital, crashing through the door of an ambulance bay. He was driving over 100 miles per hour on the highway when he crashed into Martin's squad car. Ian Kramer is charged with manslaughter. I'm Julie Walker.
A fire that started in a deli in New York City spread to at least 5 other stores. That fire started in the deli in the Kingsburg section of the Bronx. No other injuries reported. The cause of the fire under investigation.